That's being for real, man.
I don't care.
Are you done complaining, Speam? Because we're live.
Hey, can you post my Cash App in this one?
Yeah. Did you ever respond to like the 30 emails that I sent asking for your Cash App?
Yeah, I did actually. I sent it to you.
Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat that's already coming through, man. Yo, the chat is already blowing up, man, for real.
Yeah.
Shout out to Renee 43, Hayden Phoenix, Michael Gill, CJ, Boris, Hoop Oracle, St. Louis, the Jesse Glad Saget, Sphincter, Carl, Top Dog, Dangerous Captain Charisma.
You say Sphincter?
Who's got their audio on? Somebody mute
I did. I got it off. Sorry. I fixed it.
Damn old people.
I know. Tell me about it. Okay.
Hey, let's read some chats. We're gonna have a good time today. Let's give people time to get in before we start. I don't know. This is like I'm gonna feel bad. This is gonna be like working in a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, come on in here now. Come on in.
Yo, happy Easter to everybody out there in the chat, man. Once again, they know the deal, man. They know what it's about today on the Sunday show. Like Zay said, come out and play. Where all you fanboys at? Where the LeBron James fan club members at? Where y'all at?
Happy 420 also.
Oh
yeah. Laker pack in the air. Yeah, put that Laker pack in the air, man.
Kelly.
You can keep talking. That's background music.
Yeah, so if I leave intermittently and I come back just a little bit, happier or distant, you understand.
Yeah, but yo, for real though, man, we getting back my man Hoop God. We ain't seen my man Hoop God in a minute, yo. So shout out to Hoop God for coming through once again, for coming back, man.
Welcome back, Hoop
God. Absolutely.
I sincerely appreciate
Good to see you, man.
Appreciate it, gentlemen. I know I've been out. I was about the punctuality, man, but I'm like, I cannot miss game one of the playoffs. Built to ass for the fanboys.
Yes, sir. Fanboys, where are you?
Man, we got a lot to talk about today, man, because LeBron James served it up for us today, man. Like I said, it was like one of those blessings in disguise when you watch LeBron. Listen, I watched the entire second half of that game, man, and let me tell you something, man. LeBron James wasn't doing a damn thing out there last night, man.
Nope.
I was listening this morning, and you noticed one of the same things that I noticed. Luka just flat out shoving a dude in the back with both hands. And I was just thankful that the refs actually called it. And Luka has the nerve. These guys are so spoiled and so accustomed to cheating that he was actually upset that they called one of the most blatant things. How do you guys feel about this? Because getting shoved in the back is like one of the things I'd rather get hit in the face than shoved in the back. Like, you could really fuck somebody up. Like, that's some dirty crap. Like, that's one of the things that pisses me off the most playing basketball. If somebody out there is the type of person willing to shove in the back.
Yeah, like you said, AOH, it's the reaction from Luka Doncic last night. Like, dude, you literally two-hand shoved this dude in the back, and then the ref calls it, and then you actually have the nerve to be disgusted and look at the ref as if he's an idiot for calling it.
What happened when LeBron two-hand shoved somebody and I heard a whistle, and then nothing happened? Of course, I didn't have the sound on so that I could maintain my sanity. So all I know is that the Lakers ended up with the ball. Somehow LeBron just two-hand shoving people out of the line.
Hey, which was that the same play you posted where LeBron was running up and down the court yelling at the ref?
No.
Seconds?
That was where he chucked up a brick, and he did get touched on the fingers or whatever. But the way he fell down, and then he's slapping the floor, and here's the thing: you run out. It's just intolerable when you've been watching him on the ground all night. And here, let me throw this up on the screen. I don't want to jump the gun, but earlier, those are rules for fanboys. In case you don't understand what you're saying, these are called rules. You are not allowed to gesture toward the referee unless you're LeBron James, of course. But it was only a little bit earlier that he pointed directly at a ref and was cussing at him and didn't get a technical called on him. So, no wonder fanboys think that you should be allowed to do anything you want to, because if you've been watching LeBron James for 22 years, that's what the league has been showing you. You can do whatever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They don't call any of this stuff anymore. None of it, I mean, I'm looking at the list of all those rules. None of it. Profanity, any of it. I mean, it's unbelievable. They just don't call the violations. The very first play of the game that Minnesota got a basket, it was Anthony Edwards, and he kind of went around a defender, took 3 huge steps, and of course, it's just automatic, no whistle, no chance of a whistle. Like, wow, this is something else, man. This whole and you think the playoffs, do they call it tighter or looser? I couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
I know, man.
I heard you fanboys all week talking Lakers in 5, but the cream.
All of that, like the complaining, it's just like.
I mean, listen, we'll be fair to the LeBron James fan club members because they're still in play for Lakers in 5. But the way that they looked last night, they didn't look like they're ready to compete at that level. And LeBron James, I'm telling you, I said I watched the entire second half, and LeBron James was the weak link on that team, man. Guys like Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith, these guys were actually trying to hustle and play defense. The Lakers at one point, I remember at one point in the third quarter, the Lakers were down like 77 to like 52 or something like that. They were getting their doors blown off, man. And the only reason that they were able to actually make some kind of a comeback or a rally in that third quarter was because Anthony Edwards went down with like a, cramp in his calf or something like that. And he went down for several minutes. He went to the locker room. And then the Lakers went on a little rally. But that's really all it was. But once again, the fourth quarter started and it was more the same.
I noticed something, and the announcers said it, but they were being accidental. They're like, "Oh, LeBron with a slow start in the first period, and then he's come on a little bit later in the game." Well, here's what's interesting about that. Q1, LeBron took only 2 shots, made 0 of them, but it's the only period that the Lakers won. It's the only period that the Lakers outperformed the Timberwolves. And that was when LeBron James was furthest in the back of the bus that he's riding on. And when LeBron James tried to sit further up in the front, it got worse and worse for the Lakers.
See, the Lakers were up 6 or 7 when LeBron had 0 stats. He had 1 steal. That means he did absolutely nothing in the game.
No assists.
Lakers were winning.
No rebounds, no assists, no rebounds. So yeah, and let me wait. I've got it written down here. In that first period that LeBron had no points, he also had no assists. So let me beat you fanboys to the punch, because you're going to be like, "Oh, but he was doing other things, and he's the reason." he was the glue. He's the reason that Luka scored. He had 0 assists, which means he had nothing to do with Luka's points. In fact, he had nothing to do with anything.
That's the important part that you mentioned, LH. Because another alarming thing that I noticed when I was watching the Los Angeles Lakers, even when you talk about Luka Doncic, at the end of the third quarter, the Lakers had 10 assists and 9 turnovers. That's what they had going into the fourth quarter. That's not winning basketball, man, no matter who's out there on the court. So what you got from Luka Doncic in that first quarter, when I believe he scored 19 points, I think, in the first quarter, he went off. That's a lot of isolation basketball. You're standing around watching Luka Doncic do his thing. That's not coming in the flow of the offense. So when the Lakers started to go through that game, they got blown out by 18 points in the second quarter. 18 points, man. And that was pretty much the end of it for them.
And guess what? The second period is when LeBron attempted 8 shots. And for some reason insists on continuing to shoot 3-pointers, even though you have a team of players that should be taking those shots.
Yeah, Austin Reeves was playing ISO ball.
Austin Reeves, did I tell you? I told y'all what was going to happen already, Chad. I told y'all the lights are too bright for Austin Reeves. There was no Kobe of the Ozarks last night, sir. That was none of that.
That was with the refs allowing Austin Reeves to do illegal things. I've got some shorts I never got around to uploading, but Austin Reeves just flat out grabbing people.
Let me hit the fanboys with some facts real quick, man.
Okay.
Your king, the GOAT, is 1 of 9 out of his last 10 playoff games. Get the fuck out of here. Knock it off.
MVP.
And that's what they say about Jordan. They said he always 1-9 back when he had under 500 team. Remember that?
Yo, but Jay, you remember that you were talking about how this was the first time that the Lakers have had a home game to start the playoffs for game 1, right? Since LeBron James has been there. And you know what happened last night, guys? The Lakers' loss was the largest loss in a game 1 at home in Lakers history, guys. That's what you get.
That's great.
LeBron is still making history.
Right, strive for greatness.
Making history in LA.
They try to sneak him into the top 5 Laker group. Get out of here. Go to hell.
Hey, before the game, even I had material because Stephen A. Smith, LeBron, the new LeBron hater, supposedly, was talking about LeBron James playing at an MVP level. Stephen A. fucking Smith got spanked like a little girl by Clutch Sports and came on saying that LeBron James has been playing at an MVP level. God damn.
You guys take a look at this.
He is.
God help us, God. Please.
He's as dumb as, well, he's at least repeating the dumbest things that we hear out of possibly the dumbest person on sports television, Kendrick Perkins. And then now it's Stephen A. Smith is repeating the dumbest thing you've ever heard from the dumbest person in the business. Great. That's great.
That's media in a nutshell, right? I mean, that's where we are. The foul discrepancy, though, is kind of crazy. 21 for Minnesota and 10 for LA. I think that would be concerning.
Fanboys, you understand that
That's a good point, Steve.
They didn't call a foul on the Lakers until 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Knock it off.
It's weird, and I can't wait till the free throw discrepancy for the playoffs till they start to post that.
I got a stat for y'all.
Is that Hoops God?
That's Hoops God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Do y'all know LeBron still has not won a playoff game for the Lakers without Anthony Davis?
Oh.
How
about that? That seems consistent with a lot of what we've been saying.
Let me talk about media manipulation a little bit more, because in the post game, the guy talking about it was saying Luka had 16 in the first period, but he only had 1 assist. Like they took Luka's first period and still found a way to shit on it and left LeBron James alone entirely. Guess how many assists LeBron had in the entire game?
3.
3. 3. And Luka out-rebounded LeBron.
And 4 turnovers.
And Luka out-rebounded LeBron. And the only thing that the post-game guys can say is that Luka only had 1 assist in the first period. And this is the game. Hey, I'm still traumatized by your fucking cousin, because this is exactly what those people live for. Those people live for.
That's that ISO ball that I was talking about. That's not a winning combination. But see, when people try to act like that's how Michael Jordan played. A lot of ISO ball, just trying to break his man down all the time. No, Michael Jordan more often than not played in the flow. A lot of the great players, they play in the flow of the offense. Everyone else gets off. These guys are out there chucking up shots, taking these weird. LeBron James took 5 3-pointers, went 1 for 5. Why are you taking 5 threes again? It makes no sense, man. What kind of game? How do you have 5 rebounds for the game? That's insane to me. 5 rebounds? You're one of the biggest guys on the court.
Dalton Connect comes in at the end, cold, and makes a 3-pointer. You know, this is why people shouldn't be shitting on the concept of role players, because role players are good at their jobs. And I don't know. I don't.
I mean, look at Doncic, man. He needs some smoke.
They had 4 assists, Luka and LeBron, and 9 turnovers.
Damn.
So after they blamed Luka, they moved on to blaming the bench. They didn't have a big point production from the bench. Well, guess how many shot attempts the bench got to take? I mean, these are details that are important for the context. Let's also look at Anthony Edwards. He went 8 for 22. I wouldn't consider That's like a LeBron James shooting night, not particularly good. I didn't hear them talk about that. Hey, you want to shit on the bench, but you don't want to say that the star of the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't even have a great night. Actually, they said that he did have a great night. So I don't know. Is that a great night?
Anthony Edwards down the stretch, man, was knocking down some. See, what happened down the stretch was Anthony Edwards was actually going at these guys. They were matching him up against Luka Doncic. They were running those pick and rolls, trying to get Luka Doncic on him, and he was destroying Luka Doncic on the perimeter. You know, when you mention the Los Angeles Lakers guys not putting up any points, this is the thing about the role players that, you know, people don't talk about. Guys, like I mentioned, guys like Jared Vanderbilt and the Dorian Finney-Smiths, the other guys, the Rui Hachimura's, they're spending all their energy covering for LeBron James and Luka Doncic on defense. So how much do you want these guys, who are role players, mind you, how much do you want them to really do? You want them to average 20 points a game and not play defense? Or do you want to go out there and do all the dirty work so that the other guys, LeBron James is supposed to go out there and put up 30. Austin Reed's supposed to go out there and put up 30. Those are the sorts of guys putting up points. But they weren't doing a damn thing out there, and they're not playing defense. So it compounds each other.
You know what I heard?
Not to mention, you got this guy yelling at you all up and down the court that you probably didn't really mess with up until you signed on his team. That, like, people are, you know, human. That sinks in. And if I got this old ass man just bitching at me up and down the court, right, I'm probably not going to play as hard. Rui, I feel like gets drugged through the mud so bad.
Oh my God, they were shitting on him.
Anthony Edwards put him on skates last night.
Oh yeah, he put him on his ass. My God,
and post it. And it was just like it looked like a broken person. Usually you get right back up and play defense, but he just laid there. And I'm thinking to myself, he probably thinks this isn't worth the embarrassment. You know, he's a solid player. I can't believe he wasn't involved in any trades for them.
Hey, shout out to my Japanese family, because Rui got welcomed to America last night, man. He welcomed him to America,
He
y'all.
speaks the most beautiful Japanese.
No hating on Rui Hibachi.
No, he's great.
Hey, he changed his English quickly. Like when he first came to the Lakers, he was in an interview and there was a sound. I took a sound bite from it and I was going to make a short out of it because the reporter just said, "Okay, thanks." And because she had no idea what he fucking said. but now
sorry.
No, I mean nothing, you know. And I was like, I'm not trying to hate on Rui, but I thought it was hilarious. She's like, "Okay, thank you." We're done.
Hey, y'all ain't talked about Mr. Lafody when he proposed to the ref last night. Did y'all see that?
Lafody
did the jagged edge.
Oh,
he did the jagged edge last night, y'all. He did. He proposed to the ref. You ain't see that?
After the 3-pointer that
it's my video, you'll see it.
Yeah, you had classic LeBron James moments last night. You had the knee, you had LeBron James laying down his back on the court, you know, rubbing on his chin. You know, these are the classic LeBron James moments that we think about, you know, throughout his career. That's what he was doing last night.
He fouled the shit out of Randall 3 times before Randall finally went into the body, which, by the way, is exactly what LeBron James does every single time that he tries to back people down. And of course the announcer is immediately like, "Oh, that's clearly an offensive foul." Really? I'd like some consistency, please, because I'm confused. What about? I thought we needed freedom of movement or whatever horse crap they're talking about now.
He did that thing that you do when you fall and you start yelling while you're getting up and you're just bitching at the first person you can see because you're so angry. That's a video you posted last night. He just like literally just looking around and bitching at whoever he could get. And he should have got teed twice on that. That was a good 30 to 35 seconds, even after the play, for nothing to ever be mentioned.
And Jared Vanderbilt need to stop watching Dennis Rodman videos, man. He kept pissing me off last night. He was trying to, you see that tech they gave to Randall for him having his arm on his head and he pushes his arm off him?
Yep.
Bro, what man would allow another man to put his arm on his head like that?
All right, let's talk about this. Is it in the video breakdown that you did? Are we going to get to it?
Yeah, it's in there.
But I still want to talk about it because I was torn. I was like, okay, Randall, you can't. They're going to catch the guy who does the most demonstrative emotion, so he shook it off. But how long is he supposed to be expected to walk around with Vanderbilt locking his arm up backwards? I mean, and the ref was there the entire time. Hey, ref, do your job and bring it to the end before Randall has to finally shrug the guy's arm off. I don't want to make excuses for Randall, but Jesus Christ, refs, do your job. And how did only one person get teed up there? I mean, the ref was right there. He saw what Vanderbilt was doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, you probably covered all of that. Let's get to the first super chat of the day from LT. Wolves had 21-10 fouls in the game last night. It was Wolves versus refs. T-Wolves in 5. I tell you what, I have a question for the panel. Rate your level of encouragement, because beating the Lakers at home, it is tough with the referees, and the Wolves did it. However, the Lakers did not look terribly good. They can improve. So let's expect better from the Lakers. And is that going to be enough to make the difference?
No. No.
If I'm being realistic, I'm looking at it like this.
No.
You know, with certain teams, in order to win by 1, you got to win by 15. So if the Timberwolves can cut down on just those unnecessary errors and don't allow the refs to dictate the flow of the game, then yes. But I have to say this. Luka Doncic is an incredible offensive player. Now, if he gets hot and they feed off of him, it might get, a little dicey. But in order for the Timberwolves to beat them, I'm going to repeat this. To beat them by 1, you got to be up by 15 or more.
I like that. I agree entirely. You can't let it be a close game, or the refs will give it to the Lakers.
I mean, I don't like to predict a series after one game, because I've seen teams win the first game and then lose the next 4. So I said in my video earlier, the Lakers can still sweep this series. They can still win 5 games, whatever. It's one game. But the one thing that I talked about before the series that I was saying all along that I noticed that's going to remain the same regardless. LeBron James is the weak link. It's on him. He is the weak link. That's what you saw last night. He's going to be the weak link for that team, man, regardless.
When you guys were talking about Rui Hachimura not being able to guard Ant, I had a thought, because we always put, for some reason, LeBron James gets all the praise and his teammates get shit on. And we all know that his defense isn't very good. And yet ESPN is turning around and saying the opposite of reality. And, Kendrick Perkins said that he's getting it done at both ends. If you're going to put somebody in an MVP conversation, he needs to be playing defense, and he needs to be playing defense well. But you know what ESPN said? You can't expect him to be playing all-star defense. How about playing any level of respectable defense? Nobody's talking about all-star level defense. And if you're going to take the praise, and if you're going to be the leader of the team, you step up and guard Anthony Edwards. I don't want to hear about him being 40 years old when the team needs the guy who's receiving the MVP talk to step up. I don't want excuses made for the same guy that you're giving the MVP talk. I mean, the way that they're shitting on Luka, I mean, Austin Reeves deserves MVP talk more than LeBron does. It's the same thing with a new character on set. I hope Luka gets sick of it, but I tell you what, we thought that Anthony Davis would get sick of it, and he took the abuse right up until he got everything, every piece of juice, every drop of juice that they could squeeze out of him, and then shipped him off.
You know what, AOH, what you're saying sounds, that show American Horror Story, where it's just like the same cast with a different story every time.
I know about it. Yeah,
okay. The thing about Luka is his role from Dallas to where he is now changed so dramatically, I feel like, but he's still producing, right? Mm-hmm. For him, well, what's expected of him at least. And I don't know that I don't have the plus minuses in front of me, but I would guess he's been playing better as a Laker than LeBron since he's been.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's what I figured. So for him to get this kind of press even now, while LeBron is still putting up minus 25 plus minuses, is crazy. I want to shout out. It was Frederick something. They mentioned something about making it too big to win in terms of Minnesota just having to just overcome so much to make sure that the game is out of hand. So I think the fouls are going to stay about the same, and I think Luka's going to get sick of it. He's going to be done. How can you know what I mean?
Minnesota did shoot well. I mean, I felt a great sigh of relief every time that Anthony Edwards kicked the ball out, and it worked.
Yeah,
because in today's NBA,
50% from three is probably not going to happen every game.
Yeah, probably not with because even though it's the three-point era, they aren't that good at 3-pointers. Let's catch up on super chats and then we'll proceed. So much to get to. Slade Dubs just gives us a 199. Zay, you want to read Black's?
Hey, LeBron thought he was at a Diddy party the way he was on his knees begging that ref.
Yo, that is diabolical. That is diabolical.
Like, okay, go ahead. My bad.
Go ahead. Read drama therapy.
Drama therapy. You know they'll give LeBron's usual excuse that he sacrifices the first game so he can figure teams out.
Jesus.
That's exactly what they were saying in the comment section last night.
Oh, of course.
That's a great point.
I thought that said sacrifice first 3 games.
They even said, LeBron might not even be healed from his groin injury against was it not he didn't play against the Blazers, but against the Rockets where he hurt his groin again. He reactivated it.
The fact that they never get tired of excuses is something else. But then you give this guy the praise of the high IQ, and here he is, and you turn around and say that he needs a game to figure things out. But that's low IQ.
Wait.
Why you gotta lose in record margin? You lost by a record margin.
Wait, something ain't adding up because if he has to lose the first game, well, how did he lose all those finals and he lost games 4, 5, and 6? So did he not figure it out then?
Yeah.
We gotta give it to the Timberwolves because they've had their last 4 game ones on the road, they've won 3 of them. And that is the first in their franchise history that they've won a game 1 on the road. That is crazy.
Wow.
And then like I was telling some guys who are unfortunately they're LeBron supporters. I mean, I'd be like, boy, y'all dudes gonna run out of honey with all that slapping y'all doing, but nonetheless. I told them, I said the Timberwolves don't have any pressure on them. The pressure's on the Lakers. The Timberwolves, like, they're playing with house money. So if the Lakers don't figure them out, no, we have to beat this team, this could get ugly real quick.
I disagree with you.
They're such an athletic team. I mean,
wait, who disagrees?
I do. The Timberwolves are definitely on the high seat. Anthony Edwards been talking a lot. Anthony Edwards has to perform. This would be crazy. Back-to-back years. The first year he'll send KD home in the first round. Now he's sending LaForty home.
Well, no, Zay, I agree. I mean, yeah, he's on the come up. Yeah, I'm with you there. But the point I'm making is who is the media trying to hype up? Don't get me wrong. I know Ant been doing his talking, but look who the media is trying to blaze up. That's where I'm coming from. Like, the pressure's on them because now you jettisoned Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks. You went and got Luka, which is what top 3 player at worst that just came off a finals run. That's why I'm saying the pressure's on the Lakers. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I think Stephen A made a comment about Ant-Man, and you're on the rise. And then if you knock off KD, turn around and knock off LeBron and Luka, now you putting yourself on that level with who? I ain't gonna say his name, but it's kind of I see where you're coming from with that. But the media want LeBron to win so bad. Yeah, if they get bounced in the first round, it's gonna be ugly.
Speaking of the media, real quick, ESPN I felt like was kind of classless, showing Nico Harrison's face after Anthony Davis got hurt the other night. I feel like you're just embracing the negative press of all this. You don't have to show that man's face. I mean, I think he's shady. I think the whole trade was shady to begin with. But for ESPN, as an organization, to just go to him as soon as Anthony Davis was hurt was that's corny to me. You know what I mean? It's feeding into the whole BS.
Yet another historically shady trade benefiting LeBron James, and it's still not enough yet again.
I mean, we'll see, but one game, but still, I wonder how much of the last year with Luka and then Luka would have a great first half, then Kyrie would kind of come in and close. I'm wondering if they're trying to maybe recapture that kind of. But LeBron James is not the guy. You know, he was blowing out last year in the second half. Remember, he would fall apart down the stretch. So I don't know if that's going to work. We'll see. But it seems like maybe that's what they're trying to do. Of course, the game got out of hand. They couldn't even do that. But I don't see LeBron taking over a game in the second half. I just don't see it.
I'd be
but
blown
I'll bet
away.
you everybody in this room is still nervous because it's the Lakers and because it's LeBron. The nature, it's like Jurassic Park, right? Like life just finds a way. Everybody's nervous because they'll be up if Minnesota is up 3-0, then I'll be like, all right, cool, I'll feel a little bit better, but not until then.
Nah, Jim, you're right because Luka and Kyrie complemented one another. Like
right.
they were virtually polar opposites, but LeBron and Luka literally play the same. Only thing, Luka's a better shooter, and I think he commits less turnovers. But they're both ball dominant players, and that's the conundrum. It's like you have two guys who have to get their offense with the ball. So essentially, they have to start the play and finish the play. Okay, well, who's gonna adjust their game? You're not gonna make Luka
take turns, right? They have to take turns. They can't coexist. I know exactly what you're saying.
Right,
Robin, you said something interesting on your rant this morning about Anthony Edwards headhunting Luka because of Luka's bad defense. Well, you remember that the season before Luka was headhunting LeBron. If the dude who can get headhunted by others can headhunt LeBron, how bad is LeBron on defense?
Yep. No, that's a great point. And wait, and you know that's part of the problem for the Lakers moving forward. You know, you guys were talking about the pressure of the Lakers or the Timberwolves or Anthony Edwards, and yeah, maybe individually Anthony Edwards had some individual pressure to perform. Because let's be real here, they're the 6th seed. So if they lose the series, no one's gonna be like, oh, Anthony Edwards, you choked it up or something like that. As long as he performs. As long as he goes out there and puts on a show. Last night, even though he didn't have maybe the percentages as far as the field goals, like I said, I watched the entire second half, and that man was out there doing his thing. And what I talked about in my video was that what they were doing was Anthony Edwards was going after it, so I respect him for going after it. There were a couple times there where he got LeBron James' way when they were running down court, and it looked like he purposely tangled himself up with LeBron James to fluster him, to aggravate him when the Lakers were down 20-some points. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to mess with LeBron James. I respected that. There were a couple opportunities there where he was going at Luka Doncic. So like I said, Luka Doncic was having a game, right? But what happens down the stretch for a lot of these guys who don't have the conditioning like that, who don't have the skills like that, all of a sudden you can't fall back on your defensive fundamentals and you get exposed. You run out of steam. So not only now are you not effective on the defensive end, now your offensive end suffers. So these are the things that the Lakers were suffering. You had Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, and there was a point in the game where you had LeBron James doing what we were talking about and laughing about. He's standing in the middle of the court and he's pointing and yelling at everybody. And he's guarding an area and everyone else is guarding a man. You can't win like that, man, because Luka Doncic needs help. Austin Reeves needs help. It's insane.
Yeah, but Robin, the highlights you'll see is LeBron out there like an air traffic controller. That's all they'll say.
But it works. It works. It works for the fanboys. They're like, "Oh, look at his IQ." You can't tell any of us what he's actually doing right now, but you're impressed anyway.
Because he doesn't know. He probably practices that bullshit from here at home.
All right, let's catch up on super chats. We're gonna fall behind, guys. I had a big long list of things to talk about before I even watched last night's game. We may have to put those on the back burner. And Zay put out a video that already this morning, and we'll go through that if time allows. But I'm gonna get through these. Slade Dubs is back with another super chat. 4 and 6 King was -23 to LaSalle. The Jesse Glad Saget. LeBron James plays all-star game level defense. Yes, also known as getting it done at both ends, according to ESPN.
Mr. 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Mr. 1 through 5, meaning 0, because he's always guarding 0 players and floating around as Robin pointed out.
That's how it goes 1 through 5.
NM Jaya. What up, panel? First time super chatter. Hey, welcome. And long watcher.
What's up? Thank you very much.
A long watcher of 93 Zay. The Lakers were primed to win. They had all the momentum. LBJ off the bench. Well, we've been saying this for years. Like the Lakers would have beaten the Nuggets in previous matchups if LeBron James had been a bench player. Like they weren't a bad team. The Lakers have not been bad teams. LeBron James, we have play-by-play breakdowns showing LeBron James literally losing the games for the Lakers. We won't spend all day today talking about that. That's in the past. We've broken it down. The evidence exists if you care to watch it. And we know exactly who doesn't care to watch it. The LaCouzes of the world.
We do.
The LaCouzes, I like that.
Michael.
What the hell?
Jordan.
No,
Michael Jordan fans are the best. Dart, you're watching?
Dart.
Why wasn't I invited? Hey, man, you haven't responded to a single email I've sent wondering about your whereabouts. By the way, one of the questions I sent you is if I can click stream to your channel, even though you aren't going to be on there, will it still help you? Anyway.
Yo, shout out to Dart, man.
Yeah, happy Easter, Dart.
Zay, cuz your cousin never even
yo, what up, Dart?
Responded to my whole argument, my whole who had more help argument.
I should call him on the live, man. He still ain't answered the phone, man.
Yeah.
I'm worried, man.
Stebby J.
Not better than Wizards Mike.
Stebby J, how is he better than Wizards Mike? You know, the only reason that you would think he's better than Wizards Mike is if you listen to ESPN. If you listen to Colin Cowherd, etc. I mean,
but also, what difference does that make?
I don't know.
With all due respect, like what difference does it make? Sorry,
it's just narratives that they repeat because it makes them feel better.
Hey,
yeah, promoting it right.
And not to digress, but I always ask them, don't give me no stats. Tell me what is LeBron better than Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, and they'll say passing and rebounding. Okay, what else? Because I can't hear anything else. Now we're gonna go off stats. Wilt's better than LeBron. He has far more records. So which one is it?
Let me get this off my chest because I've been traumatized ever since LaCouz came on, because you know that these people exist, but like experiencing it, it was the next level LeBron fan, and it's exactly what you predict is going to happen. Answering a question with a question when you have a good question instead of answering the question, or when you really get back into the corner, just repeating a narrative that they heard from Nick Wright or Shannon Sharp. It's just amazing that they can get this far in life living in denial. But
yeah, it's a defense mechanism.
This was y'all first time. Imagine I've been dealing with this my whole life.
How do you do it? I don't know how you do it.
You know what one of the wildest takeaways from that whole thing was? Somebody in the chat said, because I said I was 39, they said 39 is too young or not the right age to watch Michael Jordan or to speak on Michael Jordan. I said, like, what? Like, that's the first I had ever heard that.
No, AOH, it's a defense mechanism. Like when you ask them a question and they have to respond with a question, right? And it's like, okay, hold on.
Right.
Can you just answer my question so I can answer yours? Because if we do this, it's just going to be questions after questions. Like you're not going to get to a conclusion. So yeah, I already know that's how they operate. So when they do respond with the question, I'm like, okay, to be fair, that has nothing to do with what I asked you. Can you please answer my question so I can answer yours?
Yeah.
There are special occasions.
What about that? Yep.
There are special occasions in which I will use the answer question with a question, but that's because I have a bigger game strategy. I do answer the question, but you've got to get them to admit something before you deliver the answer. But it's not well, how come it was okay for Michael Jordan to flop? Which, by the way, I haven't seen. I know that fanboys have scoured his entire career looking for something that resembles a flop. But have you guys seen whatever they came up with? Because I still haven't seen it.
No, they say it. And that's all that happened the other day. Real quick, shout out to Casey. He was helping me out.
Well, I actually have evidence where the league threatened to fine LeBron for flopping. So when they go make these ridiculous videos of Michael Jordan, I always ask where did David Stern have to issue a threat to Michael Jordan to say stop flopping? Because when LeBron did that Casper flop against the Memphis Grizzlies, they literally tagged him with a fine threatening him, and that was back in 2021. So I always asked him, well, where did David Stern have to step in and tell Michael Jordan to stop flopping? I mean, if you can show me that.
And that was after his 7th flop of the season already in November.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but see, the thing about the flopping that doesn't make any sense to me when they try to relate it to Michael Jordan or any of the other players from previous eras that doesn't make any sense is that back in those days, like we said before, you didn't fall down. You got knocked down back in them days. So let's say that you thought a player, quote unquote, flopped in the 80s or the 90s or something like that. What are they really doing? All they were really trying to do was sell a call more often than not. And there's a difference between trying to sell a call flopping and you actually getting hit and actually trying to sell the call because you're getting hit because that's the way the game was played. I remember people trying to say, oh, Dennis Rodman flopped against Shaquille O'Neal. He's not flopping against Shaquille O'Neal. He's outweighed by damn near 100 pounds, and he's hitting Shaquille O'Neal bang into him. He's trying to sell a call there. That's not Dennis Rodman flopping. What you see today from LeBron James, he'll get hit by someone who he outweighs by 40, 50 pounds. He's flopping against these weirdos out here, that, like I said, are smaller than him, and he's just throwing himself into the air, knocking people's drinks over.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good, those matchups are great comparisons because Shaq was like 300 pounds, and physically, even if you're really strong, as Dennis Rodman was, you're going to get knocked backwards running into that. And that's about the size differential of LeBron James and the people that he likes to pick on, because that's the only time LeBron James has the bravery, if you want to call it bravery, to try and back someone down is when he's got 5 inches of height and 100 pounds on him. And then he turns around and falls. He turns around and falls when Steph Curry backs into him.
Hey, so the Dennis Rodman thing, right? Whoever brought that up, shout out to you. Do y'all remember when Dennis Rodman told, he was on, I think, First Take, and he said, I will lock his ass up. He has no moves, he's just big. Now, the LeBron fanboys got incensed, capping ass Gilbert Arenas. Oh, you couldn't guard LeBron James. I'm like, wait a minute. There's video footage of Dennis Rodman getting on Shaquille O'Neal for an entire quarter and holding him to maybe 2 points. Now, this is what they'll say. They'll go back in time. Oh, well, Shaq had 28. Yes. How many did he have on Dennis? See, you put Rodman on Shaq for a third quarter, right? The Bulls get, what, a 20-point lead? You don't want to keep Rodman on Shaq. He's going to foul out. I'm like, that shows me where their basketball acumen is. It's very low. It's like in the basement. Because I'm like, why would you logically keep Dennis Rodman on Shaquille O'Neal for the entire game, knowing that he's going to eventually foul out, versus Rodman, you take Shaq for a quarter, slow him down, cut down his efficiency, let us get our lead, and then get off of it.
Man, you ain't never lied. Let me say, though, Nick Wright and Gilbert Arenas, they got to read like books today like The Art of War. They got to go deep into the Webster's Dictionary in order to come up with excuses on the Lakers' performance. You know what I mean? Like, LeBron is what, 6'9", 250, but nobody is afraid of him. Like Jordan was 6'6", 215 pounds of horror. Like he was horror on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like people were really afraid of Jordan on this court. There is just a big difference between these two guys. And I don't think
because in his heart, in his soul, even though he was only 6'6", Michael Jordan was not afraid to attack the biggest, baddest dude on the other team.
Nope.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, even Shaquille O'Neal said that. He's like, nah, Michael Jordan, yeah, I feared him. He was like, nobody fears LeBron. I feared Michael Jordan.
The thing is, if we put Dennis Rodman on LeBron James, we have to have the mentality of that time period also, because Dennis Rodman didn't give a shit. He's not going to be that personality.
Absolutely.
That personality type wasn't going to be influenced by clutch sports. Would he resist that today? And because Dennis Rodman's toughness would have fucked with LeBron James and the mental games, because LeBron James is mentally weak, and Dennis Rodman would have had a field day with him as long as they ref it fairly.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, AOH, look at it like this. Look at what a young Kawhi Leonard, who hadn't even hit his prime, did to LeBron in the finals. You take a Dennis Rodman with the Detroit Pistons. Come on, man. That's not even fair.
Yep. Let's catch up on some super chats. And I already have that up. Labalco Blames plays both ends. Coincidentally, that's also how he got invite to the Diddy party.
Yo.
Oh, man.
Bro, he dropped the bar. Hey, yo, he dropped the bar right there.
My goodness.
I hope that makes it to ESPN. That was great.
Makes it to ESPN.
That was really good.
The Jesse Glad Saget, thank you for another super chat today. Every decade, the LA Fakers have been bailed out by an all-time train robbery trade. In just 7 years, LeBrick has been the beneficiary of 2 of them. And I don't know. I can only imagine the shit that they're going to say. I can only imagine the excuses to come up with this time.
Can I just speak to that real quick?
The agent of the other guy.
So real quick, so we talked about this in the other live stream when you talk about all the help that LeBron has had throughout his entire career versus the names that they bring up with Jordan, which is one, Pippen. That's the most consistent and probably only name you hear in terms of Jordan's help. When you compare that to LeBron's help in just the last, there you go, 7 years. Hall of Fame, all-time talent, a lot of it in its prime. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yup.
Some love for Hoops God. Praise the Dawn says, "Oh snap, Hoop God is back." And shout out to the panel.
Yes, sir. Praise the Dawn. I appreciate you, man. I've been out. I'm sorry. I'm back, man. I'm going to be more consistent.
I wish you all could debate those. I wish you all could debate those clowns over at Player's Choice. I don't know who that is, and I don't want to know.
Hey, well, to be fair, I've already cooked Chilltown, and I got people who can verify that. I cooked him so bad he blocked me.
And two more super chats, and then we'll move on. NBA won't allow Lakers first round exit. Daryl Jones. Well, I hope you're wrong. It happened before, and
they were first round exit in 2021 as defending champions, man. Remember, that was when LeBron James walked off the court like 5 minutes to go. So it's possible. It could happen.
When he was getting his nutrition, get off his back.
That's right, Speen.
The desperation level has to be higher than ever, though, to give LeBron James one last good year.
But doesn't that hurt his legacy if he loses to a 6 seed as a 3 seed?
Speen, weren't they up 2-1 in that series?
Yeah.
Damn. He has a pattern of blowing 2-1 leads.
Nobody's talking about that. Like, yeah, well, you don't talk about the Jordan's Wizards years. Maybe these are like LeBron's Jordan Wizard years, just pumped up by the NBA.
Don't disrespect
to a 6 seed.
Wasabi no Gamu says, "Greetings from Italy." Geez, I was gonna say Japan, but greetings from Italy. I know you said it won't happen, but I think this bum, when he retires, sooner or later, he'll get exposed for PEDs. I think he has some powerful enemies, and they are waiting for him. But what will the consequences be? So what? They'll just make an excuse for it. What does exposed for PEDs mean? Anyone paying any attention at all knows that it's undeniable that he's on performance-enhancing drugs, and he's being allowed to use those steroids to foul the shit out of people. And we're watching it live. So he's getting the benefits of it. What are the consequences going to be after he retires?
What if it's a Lance Armstrong situation? What if it's a Lance Armstrong situation where they don't take away the specifics, but they sully his name?
But they do what? Sully the name?
Yeah.
If LeBron James' name isn't sullied at this point, I mean, the guy's entire career has been embarrassing, just on the court, off the court, like watching him. People, I mean, does anyone actually wonder why I'm so angry? Like, watching him disgusts me and makes me fear for society. Watching LeBron James does that to me, and he's being heralded as doing so much for the game. I mean, that's so far from reality that I just start to think, oh my God, what the fuck?
He's protected. He's protected because he brings all that money in. Once he retires, nobody's going to want him to own a team. He's going to make all this noise about, an additional league, and people are just going to be like, yo, you're done. You had your time.
He's a billionaire with multiple companies. He has ways of bringing in money when he's retired. He probably brings in more money from outside of his contract right now.
Hey, so Speen, you just said something, right? Why do you think him and not Rich Paul, Maverick Carter? Why do you think they're already contemplating this? or we're going to create this other league, that we can finance the players and blah, 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 to try to compete with the NBA. I believe he knows something that we got a lot, I would say a little bit of information on, but I know he knows like to a far higher degree. So I think what he's doing, he's trying to set himself up in the event that something does get leaked out by those enemies who don't really favor him. He wants to have a backup plan, which is kind of clever, but even still, once your name gets tied to that you're a cheater, I mean, y'all know how the internet is. The internet is undefeated. They are going. Listen, he won't even be able to log on. It would be in his best interest just don't even get on Twitter no more. Because every time he make a tweet, some little troll account is gonna put up Balco PEDs. He can't take that.
Lobo has an interesting point. I didn't even think about all of his defenders, but then again, they're being paid to lie right now. If you don't have any integrity, I guess you're going to be happy to live with the paycheck that you made later on. He says for AOH in 93, when LBJ retires, there will be major belt ass on Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, and other prima donnas. It's an interesting point. I wonder how much they'll get called out for pushing a lie if in fact LeBron James is exposed. But again, I just don't know how much it's going to matter. The next game, Lakers have plus 25 free throws, he predicts. I think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be bad. I think that LeBron James is going to fucking foul out the entire other team between him and Luka.
And Reeves. Reeves gets all those calls. That's how they hide that discrepancy. They spread those free throws amongst players that you really don't think about. That's why Austin Reeves averages more free throws than LeBron.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get to 93 Zay's video. If you're hanging in, looking forward to that. We will get to it. Zay, why don't you read this super chat for me?
Roger Hurt said MJ put fear into the league through his game and dominance. LBJ put fear in the league through Clutch Sports and La Media. MJ equals old school. Face the threat and neutralize. LBJ equals a keyboard warrior with no backbone. No lies detected.
Yeah.
No lies.
That was a good super chat. That was a good super chat.
Yo, shout out to Roger Hurt, man. Shout out to everybody that always comes through, man. You guys continue to support these live streams, man. It's truly humbling.
Roger Hurts, that was a very, very accurate observation. Very astute, my good man. Keep that up.
Wavy Thames says JJ needs to go to Walmart and buy some. What is that?
Balls.
Oh, balls.
Come on, get together.
He got out coached last night. Mr. Pat Riley, young Pat Riley.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Socrates. Hold on. Socrates got out coached. The know-it-all. Say it ain't so.
Robin, read this one.
Oh, yo, shout out to my man John Pettit coming through with the super chat. He says, how can the NBA let LeBron own a team when he's involved with Clutch? Wouldn't that be tampering? ?
He's been involved in tampering before. And
does it as a player. I mean, tampers all the time.
Good Lord. How many people out there still don't think that he was involved in that Luka trade? I mean, and by the way, the Anthony Davis trade was tampering. Literally fined because it was tampering.
These are part of the things that expose LeBron James even further. Because all this points to is all the advantages that LeBron James has had throughout his career. So when we talk about the super teams that he's been allowed to create, when someone like Kobe Bryant wasn't allowed to create a quote-unquote team of his own, when we think of the way LeBron James allowed to play the game, where he's allowed to use physicality in an era where there's no physicality, when you think about all the trades he's allowed to make, you think about how his best friend, like I mentioned, was the agent for Anthony Davis, who requested a trade off his team. And now we talk about these kinds of scenarios. All this does is expose LeBron James further, because even though he has all of that going for him on his side, the man is still 4-6 in the finals. You still lost more than you won at the end. That's the result of all of that. So all you do further is say, hey, all right, keep giving LeBron James another advantage. All this does is going to further expose him.
And there are no other superstars, actually, maybe in the history of the league, that have had such a consistent amount of media and conspiracy and just shady stuff attached to their name. And, you know, we've had several players under the microscope, maybe not to the same extent, but it's every season, every team with him. There's always something, whether you're looking for it or not. And that's when we get into the, well, one, you look for patterns, but then the LeBron stands, they say, well, you know, these are the numbers. Yeah, but look at the patterns. Well, you know, and then it just gets into nothing. But it's a consistent thing.
Hey, I want to throw something out.
Hey, I just want to say I'm out, you guys. It's time for me to go. My wife told me it's time. So you guys enjoy your Easter. I'll be listening to you the rest of the way.
Hey, have a good one, Jim.
Happy Easter, man.
You guys.
Yep. Hey, I got a question. I think now, like, I think it should be a legitimate part of the GOAT debate. Like, how much help did you have, and what did you do with the help that you had?
Right.
This man done had
exactly who got.
He done had 12 disciples on his team, man. Knock it off.
Well, that was the big argument,
He's
right?
He's travel all over.
LeBron did more with less, is what they said the other day. And it was just like, I don't, and that's when we got into what do you mean? How can you even say that out loud?
Hey, Zay, I'm sorry, but I've got to highlight a couple of things. Your cousin literally couldn't come up with listing LeBron James when we asked who the 3 holes on defense were. He tried to throw.
He said everybody but LeBron James.
And he said that LeBron carried Anthony Davis. I mean, these people do not care about reality at all.
Yeah. And he disconnected. He knew I had him. He tried to say he disconnected.
Okay, I didn't see that part, but go ahead and brag. What'd you do?
No, that's it. No, that was the argument. We talked about who had more help. And,
this was in the show afterward, right?
What's that?
This was in
I think this was on Zay's live. Yeah, because I said Pippen's the only name that you can consistently attach to Michaels in terms of help. And then you just name.
Speam, you cooked one of these bozos?
I'm not gonna say he was. I'm not gonna say bozo. I'm gonna just call him cuz, and he was just wrong.
No, I call them bozos. That's what they are. Like when they put the bird box blindfold on and act blind and act stupid, I gotta call them a bozo because it's like you see it, but you close your eyes and pretend like it doesn't exist.
I should let Hoops God know this is legitimate. This is an actual family member. This is a cousin of 93 Zay.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
That, by the way, might be on a health alert right now. Thoughts and prayers. You haven't heard from him, right, Zay?
Nope, still haven't heard from him.
Speam, send me the link. I need to check that out, man. I need some laughs.
I bookmarked it. It was a win. It was a win in my life. I'm gonna celebrate it same time next year. Looking forward to it.
Hey, AOH, I want to know your thoughts. Well, the panel too. I want to know y'all thoughts. Did y'all see where Skip went on that tour? I think like the what's the other guy? He's like the big conservative, Charlie. Like how he goes to these other little schools and kind of debates these kids. Well, Skip kind of took that format, and there was this one little goofy that got up there talking about everything that you said is an absolute lie. LeBron James, true shooting is better than Michael Jordan in the regular season, in the playoffs. I mean, he just talking all these analytical numbers. And Skip is like, Skip was like, okay, but what did it lead to? But LeBron James didn't have any help. He was like, but he chose his teammates. Well, you see, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, they really get up here and regurgitate these narratives, and I'm like, this is detrimental to society. Like, I seriously, like, this needs to be stopped. Because you are out here conditioning these kids and making them believe a lie. And then they'll come debate somebody using things that they've heard. Because I can tell the ones who've researched versus the ones who just regurgitate what they've heard. And that's exactly what he did. And Skip, like, I ain't gonna lie, Skip, he kept it on the humble, but he embarrassed that kid. But he did it in a respectful way.
I'm gonna say this real quick, man. If you need a PhD, if you need a Harvard degree to make your case as the GOAT, knock it off.
Hoops God, you should. I mean, watch what Speed Engine and Zay did, but exactly what you said happened on our show when Cuz came on at the end, and it just seemed so painfully clear that he hasn't watched or only sees what he wants to see, and he did exactly what you said. He will say a glittering generality is what they refer to it in marketing, where it sounds nice, but there's no way to substantiate it.
Right.
And it just makes me wonder why it's so important to attach themselves to LeBron James. You're not a fan of the game. You're not actually watching basketball. Those of us who are fans of Michael Jordan, a lot of us had to be converted. A lot of us were converted by watching his actual ball play.
Yeah.
But it's not important to me. Like the most important thing about supporting Michael Jordan is that as a man, as a person of character, he conducted himself in a much better manner than LeBron James. But other than that, you can debate whoever you want to for the GOAT. But the way that these guys debate for LeBron James to be the GOAT is weird. It's weird.
Yep.
It's like they'll take everything that's revolved around critical thinking and then they'll just throw it out the window. Like prime example, if he comes on there, like you said, using one of those generalities, like a generalization about LeBron, and they'll say, but you can't prove me wrong. Okay, I didn't make the statement. It's not my responsibility to prove you wrong. Like if I come out and say, well, hey, I beat Usain Bolt in the 100-meter dash. You can't prove me wrong. No, I have to provide evidence. And then when you explain that, they don't know. It's like they just get lost. Well, what do you do without Pippen? What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Yeah. Well, we had a whole half an hour of that yesterday if you want to go watch it. Let's get to some super chats and then watch 93 Zayd's video. Le Bizarro Jordan says basically what we just said in another way. We are in bizarro world. This blockhead is the opposite of the real 23 in every way. Yep. You can't convince fools. This is a support group. I'm here for it. Exactly. It's upsetting when somebody is said to be right behind Michael Jordan when he's the opposite of Michael Jordan. You can't compare people that are the opposites unless you're pointing out how they are the opposites. Don't try and point out similarities of people who are the opposite.
I mean, at this point, I think we should all feel and be offended that LeBron James actually wears number 23. I think that's where we are right now. You know, after all of these years, everyone should be offended that he's wearing number 23. They should actually be disgusted. They should feel the same way that dude PK Subban felt when they were trying to compare what Alto Veskin did to what LeBron James did. Everyone should feel that way.
Someone explain to me what he's talking about.
Huh?
What's that? Who are those athletes he's talking about? I'm not familiar.
The hockey guy. PK basically came and said that LeBron James, he wasn't upholding the standard like Kobe and Jordan.
I remember now. Yeah, okay.
And they were trying to bully him, and he stood on business. Shout out to PK. He was like, no, those guys went out there and they gave it their all, and I don't see that from LeBron James and these modern day athletes. Hey, shout out to PK, man, because he stood on business.
And shout out to him because how rare is that now? We don't see anybody like fight back. We don't see people like defend their stance or even challenge somebody else's bullshit. It's so rare. It's unfortunate because that's what we should be watching. That's how you learn is with an intelligent debate, but not just like letting people go on and say whatever they want to say. Thanks, babe.
That's Nike. That's Nike's relationship with sports. That's why most athletes don't have anything to say. It's probably going to cost them some money.
And Shannon Sharp almost burst into tears when PK said that. That was hilarious.
For those of you just tuning in, I want to talk about a stat that I said at the beginning of the show. It's an important one because I came up with it. Thank you. Fucking delayed laughter. Got awkward there for a second. I want to remind people that in Q1 of the game last night, LeBron took only 2 shots and made 0. It's the only period that the Lakers won. And then he got more involved and it hurt the team the more he tried to get involved. And I also want to point out that despite Luka's great first period, the announcers managed to say, well, sure, Luka had 16 in the first period, but he only had 1 assist. Luka not doing enough. Wow, by the way, not getting included in any of these MVP conversations. He needs to do more while LeBron is doing less. Hey, Robin, you want to read this super chat?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Full Venom Jacket coming through with the super chat. Once again, you guys humble us. If MJ jumped to the Spurs in 99, how many more rings would he have? If he got to coast on defense and the Twin Towers you know, like LeBron has done in the past 10 years, maybe we'd be talking 3 3-peats. You know, absolutely. Yo, shout out to Full Venom Jacket. You know, they make a great point there. We talk about the 99 Spurs and jumping on a team. We've also talked about in 2002 when Michael Jordan came back for the Wizards, he could have easily came back for the LA Lakers. In fact, we've all heard whispers that Phil Jackson and the Lakers would have welcomed Michael Jordan to go to the team, and they, you know, would have liked to have Michael Jordan on that team, you know, as once again, a mentor to a Kobe Bryant. So Michael Jordan could have definitely coasted. He could have came back, played for the New Jersey Nets, who were a really good team at that time. He could have came back play for the Spurs or any really quality team, but he came back for the Wizards.
Yep, exactly. Hey, Dart, I don't know if you were kidding or not, but I'm going to send you the link via email. I think you were kidding, but if you do want to hop on, I'm going to email you the link.
Nah, hey, sports and fitness. Now no, MJ, you know, he didn't want to team up with the best. Like, he always wanted to measure himself against the best. So in his mind, it would have been too easy to go team up with Shaq and Kobe.
Yep.
And then, you know, just get that, what do you want to call the consolation prize? Because he wouldn't have been the finals MVP. Or now I think if he would have went to let's just say, you know, Pop would have been like, hey, Michael, come down here with us. He possibly would have got the finals MVP, you know, just based off how the series would have went. Now, Tim Duncan would have been a force, but I think that version of MJ with the Spurs, I mean, yeah, they definitely would have got 1 or 2 without a doubt.
Daryl Jones has a super chat. Luka trade about ratings. No first round exit. It's enough to make me worried. That is enough to make me worried. And it's sad.
Yeah,
it's
but
sad.
if you also want to promote the young talent, Anthony Edwards upsetting, you know, someone said something earlier. I don't know if it was Zay or Hoop Guy. Someone said something about, you know, last season he beat or knocked out Kevin Durant in the first round in the sweep. This year you could knock LeBron James out in the first round. So if you want to promote the young up and coming stars like an Anthony Edwards, this is a good story for his career, you know, coming out there and winning this series. So yeah, maybe the quote unquote ratings might favor someone like LeBron James and Luka Doncic, but this can also help the NBA having Anthony Edwards lead the team over them.
But do they really promote the young talent? Because we talked about this all year. We talked about this all year, how everything that we see is LeBron James's face, and LeBron James is the face of the league. And, oh, we don't have anyone to replace LeBron James as the face of the league. Yes, you do. You're just choosing not to market them. Pick anyone that you want. Pick anyone and put the resources behind it that you put behind LeBron James, and you can convince people that they're the face of the league.
Did you know Jason Tatum is signed to Jordan Brand, by the way?
What?
Jason Tatum is signed with Brand Jordan. And
yeah, so is Luka.
I have like every edition so far. People buy his sneakers to play ball in, but that's about it. And that's, I mean, they wanted to push him as the face of the league for the longest time. So it's weird that they're pushing Shea. He's with Converse, but you know, Converse is owned by Nike. Either way, the answer is Nike. So whatever athlete is tied into it, they need to maintain that brand partnership. They're not going to let another brand sneak in, especially with Adidas finally, you know, coming out and making some decent sneakers. So you know, stuff is getting tighter than ever. It's all about, like, Nike is the evil corporation behind it all.
Especially with LeBron's going straight to the clearance rack.
Yep.
Especially when they going straight to Burlington Coat Factory. You know what I mean?
Hey, Zay, I seen some in Ross, no cap. Like, I took a picture of them too.
The big size 17.
You took a picture of them.
Hey, Steve, I had to have proof. You know, if I said you're lying, then I show them proof. You're still lying. Okay.
There's a list of the top 10 sneakers that were used by the NBA this year. None of them were LeBron's. Most of them were Kobe's and Jordan's.
Speed, why don't you read this super chat?
Shout out to Nick. What do you think about implementing relegation to the G League? Example, that's a good idea. Example, last team in each NBA conference gets replaced. That's a fantastic idea. But then they'd have to try hard. So they'd have to close the league down.
Oh, look, it's good super chat. And it's not that serious. Was dropping some bombs on a Friday. LeBron is the antithesis of MJ. LeBron gets accredited for what MJ has done. However, they tried to rewrite basketball history for LeBron for MJ's accomplishments. Yep.
He finally passed MJ 8 years later. Like
You can't even make a joke about that. Anthony Davis was just trying to be funny. He was honest. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Out of there. They poked his little voodoo doll. Now he's out of there.
Yep.
Right. Hoops God. Can you read this? Can you see these? Or are you on your phone? Is it too hard to see? Okay. Zay.
If Lakers lose, shout out to Justin Messenger coming through with the super chat. If Lakers lose to Wolves, that will be LeBron third first round loss in just 7 seasons in LA. 7. No other Laker has more than 2. Top 5 Laker ? Please.
This is the weird world that we live in. They're talking about making a statue for this guy when he's brought nothing.
A statue.
I don't know, man.
That's insane.
How much have they tried to do for him too, by the way? Like, how many moves have the Lakers made while LeBron James was there, just desperately trying to make this work? It's not like LeBron
I remember
James
coming into the my bad, LH.
It's not like LeBron James came and had to just deal with shit the whole time. They were constantly moving pieces and trying to put together these super rosters.
Yep.
Year after year, postseason, preseason, trade deadline, after the trade deadline.
I was going to say after the trade deadline. I was just about to say that.
Yep.
Sorry, Robin, go.
Oh, no, I was basically just going to echo what you were just saying there. I remember the season that Darvin Ham's last season coaching. I remember coming into that season, the offseason, they kept talking and promoting how the Lakers were revamped, the roster was retooled, and they were ready to go. They said LeBron James. Remember they were saying, "Oh, LeBron James looks like he's 20 years old again. He's in the room training. He's in early, in camp. Blah blah blah. He's getting ready for the season. The Lakers roster's ready." This is what they were saying coming into the season. And then what happens? The Lakers come in, they get all this stuff going on, they win the in-season tournament, they celebrate it, they hang the banner, they go crazy, and all of a sudden the wheels come off. The Lakers finish in the 7th seed, they're in the play-in, and then they get knocked down the playoffs, and then LeBron James comes to the postseason and says, what? Hey, man, if we were healthy, everyone knows when we were whole, we were able to win the in-season tournament. You saw what we were able to do. Once again, more excuses.
And LeBron is so dumb, he doesn't know that they had the same starting lineup as they had in the in-season tournament.
Hey, AOH, I wanted to speak on something you said. No, why would they make a statue of him when he's already a statue on defense?
Yep.
Bars.
Yep. We better, maybe we'll take Zay's video in chunks. We better watch a little bit of it. Let's read these 2 super chats and then get to Zay's video. And this is John Pettit again. I'm a Knicks fan, not a MJ fan, but you have to respect him and the greatness. He stopped everyone else from winning. Yeah. And some of us actually got sympathetic towards other people. I was one of them. I was like, come on, man. Praise the Dawn. Shouldn't the so-called journalists be fired every time they go on TV saying how LeBron needs this and that? Never seen them do that for MJ or Kobe. I don't even know what the journalists. I mean, they sound like cowering little kids hoping that nobody gets mad at them because they didn't kiss up enough in their question. I mean, their questions are basically compliments. Hey, how would you like to respond to the compliment I'm going to give you?
Don't you like Brian Windhorst looked like a battered spouse through that entire process when LeBron said that? He looked like a broken man when his hero called him weird. And it looked like somebody that would go to a support group because their life had been turned upside down. I'm not even trying to be funny. He looked hurt, and his response indicated somebody that was hurt.
Hey, apply that to anyone, LeBron. Call any of them weirdos if you're going to call Windhorst a weirdo. How about Lou? How about Lou Williams? How about Jay Williams? How about Shannon Sharp? You want to talk about some weirdos? I mean, Brian Windhorst has kissed LeBron's ass for sure, but not any more strangely than these other people.
And he has
Rick Bucher called this out. They were like, "This was completely unnecessary. This is bullying. It's weird." And to pretend that you didn't know each other is also weird. And also, Brian Windhorst never pretended or said anything that indicated that they had a close personal relationship. It's again LeBron James swinging at easy victims.
LeBron even admitted, ask Wemby, he knows. Like, that's literally what he said in the interview.
Listen, he didn't call Isaiah Stewart weird. I didn't hear him call Isaiah Stewart weird.
He didn't call Chael Sonnen weird either.
Oh.
The Space Coupe 57 Chevy.
All jacked up.
Why does Magic get left out? Only finals rookie MVP with Kareem watching from the couch. 13 years, 5-4 finals record, back-to-back. Magic is the GOAT. I mean, there's so many, exactly. Like, I would rather, it's not just disrespectful to talk about LeBron and MJ together. It's disrespectful to bypass all of these other people who are much more deserving than LeBron James. I'm going to try and put Zay's video up here.
AOH,
can you guys hear me?
A comment from
Belt to ass for the fanboys.
Yo, I gotta get out of here, guys. So I'm gonna let you guys do your thing. Yo, once again, happy Easter, everybody out there. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your days. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you very much, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one, man.
Thanks for coming.
Be safe. Dan Bourne called Rich Paul a lot lizard, and I just thought that was funny.
Okay, let me do this. Oh, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna I downloaded it while we were on the show, so I gotta get this ready here.
Belt to ass for the fanboys.
I'm gonna sting you a strike, AOH. No. Let's get it. Oh, this one, it was so fun. This one was a fun one. This one. It made me proud. Minnesota, stand up, man. Shout out to the North Side, man. Stand up. I know they was shooting in the air last night.
The Thunder, a Boost Mobile bundle, WWE Royal Rumble, Lakers in 5. OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers in 5. Houston Rockets. I don't care nothing about no light socket, a court docket, or my empty pockets.
A few moments later.
You said this week to the media that everybody's picking the Lakers and you like that. Yeah. So you also sent a text message to your group before this series started. What was that message to your teammates? Just, we the underdogs and be aggressive. Come out ready to fight. It's going to be a dog fight. It's going to be tough. And like I said, man, everybody got to trust their work, trust themselves. And they did that tonight.
Got his air fryer out, ready to cook. Ant-Man gets it back, pulls the three, and it's wet.
I'm not sure physically we were ready, if that makes sense. And really, when they started playing with a lot of thrust and physicality, like we just didn't respond immediately to that, and then that stretch from the start of the second through 4 or 5 minutes to go in the third. We lost that stretch by 34. So that's a blowout.
When you play in a Minnesota team, they're gonna be physical. That's what they bring to the table.
So what? They didn't start shoving people with two hands soon enough?
That's what they did all game.
I know. I don't want to see the next game with more physicality, you dirty pieces of shit.
Maybe it took us one playoff game to now get a feel for it and know
you idiot.
The type of intensity, the type of phicality that's going to be brought to the game. But that's just the way they play. So we should be more than prepared for that on Tuesday night. Like I said, we have to control the controllables, and if we do that, we're gonna give ourselves a much better chance.
Controllables.
Hey, notice how many. Hey, notice how many filler words this dude uses.
Thank you.
Like he just sounds like a 17-year-old up there talking like, bruh, you mean to tell me they ain't put you through a basic public speaking class session? Yeah, come on, man, stop with them filler words. It
When
just
have you
sounds
ever
stupid.
heard anybody say control the controllable? Like Cameron says stuff like that, right?
That's stuff
Speen, I promise you, we gonna hear his fanboys say that. But LeBron had to control the controllables.
Absolutely.
You stare at somebody.
Mike Tomlin to say, you know what I mean? Like
Fanboys,
we want
let me know.
volunteers. We don't want hostages.
Fanboys, let our voices echo in your heads when you get tempted to repeat this stupidity because it was interesting to you, because you found it to be profound, because you're fucking stupid. This caters to stupid people.
The process of the process. I enjoy the process.
Hey, I got a new name. Hey, his name is LeBron Filler Word James.
I mean, I was listening to this and I was just like, can he possibly start one interview without just one.
Hey, well, AOH, you got to be fair. When you have a limited vocabulary, that's what you resort to. That's what you call a very shallow lexicon.
But his vocabulary is actually getting worse.
No, it is. That's the point. Yeah.
And let's look. Hey, LeBron James creeping up into being the number 2 scorer is part of that pattern that I'm showing. If he's number 1 or number 2, they lose. He needs to go right back to number 3, 4, or 5, which he's been in the Lakers last games, in order for them to win. But I actually don't want them to take that advice. Please give LeBron James the ball a bunch. Please.
We did tonight.
I wouldn't do that just yet. Cause your ass is mine.
Built to ass.
Fanboys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
What
did I just tell y'all,
AOH? The interesting thing about that is if you ever take any courses about lying or research lying, people consistently move their hands back and forth, or they can't sit still. And those ums and ahs, that's to buy time to think of something else to say. Because you ever notice, whenever he gets into his sports lingo, his sports talk, whatever the case may be, it flows like water, because that's stuff that he's used to saying. It's off the cuff. It's natural to him. But anytime you ask him, it's like if you ask a robot like how it feels, it's just gonna stare at you blankly because it doesn't know how to answer. When you ask him something that's outside of his script, for lack of a better term, he does exactly what Zay was just showing.
Didn't I just give you the blueprint to beat the Lakers? I told Anthony Edwards exactly what to do, and look what he did. Look what the Timberwolves did. And this next message is for Shannon Sharp. Oh, yeah. I heard you got on television talking all that shit on First Take, and I kept talking about the Lakers and 5. But the cream always rise to the top.
Ooh, yeah, the macho man
didn't do a thing in that first quarter.
This is because you grew up in Minnesota.
Huh?
These influences that show up inside of your videos. This is because you grew up in Minnesota.
They got. It's just what my childhood, you know what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I like that macho man reference.
Oh, I'm not shitting on it. I'm not. I was
everybody was a wrestling fan at some point. WrestleMania was just here in Vegas. Y'all in for a long one today. Hey, get your cups. Happy Easter, man. Happy Easter, man.
I can't tell which day is the one talking, the one on the video or the one in the room.
Wood in the air. You got a Laker pack.
Throwing me off a lot.
Fam.
No one can tell when you're talking.
Oh, it's me. Oh, that's on me.
That's on you.
That's on me.
All right, Zay, you're not talking. This is you in the video, right? That we're hearing.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
I know you're not.
Boys, it's fact time. I got a couple of facts for you. They called this man on the screen right here the GOAT.
No, you're not. Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Stop.
But this man is 1-9 over his last 10 playoff games. This is the first game 1 in LA. The first ever. The bubble was in Orlando. This is the first game 1 in LA. The stars is out. Everybody's out. The girls is out. The weirdos is out. You seen the weirdest clothes in the front row tonight, man. And look what you did. Luka got a back brace on for carrying you, man. Luka gotta carry you. How do y'all expect Luka to carry this bum to the finish line? This man in the first quarter was non-existent.
I need to quote ESPN literally before the game. Said the opposite of what you said. Said, how can LeBron James carry Luka to the finish line? They actually said it.
Yes, that's what they said. I heard that. I'm like, my God. I forgot to put the clip in where it was like, LeBron doesn't complain. He's not a complainer.
Oh, boy.
I forgot to leave the sound. I was like, oh, my God, I forgot to leave the sound on.
Oh, another soundbite for you LeBron fans. Just repeat those lies. How are people chomping at the bit to talk about this? I don't want to stop about it too often, but we better acknowledge. Ayal Sabag says, I hate when people say LeBron is a good rebounder. Have any of you watched my rebounding videos? It's comical. The strongest guy in the court, and he gets 5 rebounds in a playoff game. Joke. And Justin Messenger says LeBron acts like they haven't played Minnesota 4 times already. That's a pretty good point.
Yep.
And LeBarbie's battery ran out last night, laying on the floor. Le bowling pin style. Shout out to the crew. Much love. No Sean Combs party. Thank you.
Machiavelli. Man was doing nothing but cardio in the first quarter, and the Lakers were up 7. Luka was out of his mind. Soon as this bum starts scoring, soon as he start touching the ball and throwing shots up, the motherfucking Timberwolves go on a 26-6 run, man.
Lord Jesus.
Even with the help of the referees, you still got the plunger and sent to the gulag, man. They didn't call a foul on the Lakers until 4 minutes left in the second quarter. That's disgusting, man. The way the Timberwolves were attacking the rim to call no fouls on the Lakers until the second quarter. That's disrespectful. Oh, and I ain't forget about LaCuz. LaCuz still ain't answer the phone, man. All I got is a video of him taking his anger out on the door. Just look at this tech by the ref. He got his hand on the back of his head, and they called
Look at it. Look at that garbage.
Julius Randle. Disgusting. Not even 15 seconds into the game, Rudy Gobert got his first foul.
That was a crazy carry, right?
He had 3 fouls in 13 minutes. Pretty much unplayable in that first half. But Naz Reid put on for the drink. In 13 minutes,
I gotta rewind.
Seconds into the game, Rudy Gobert got it.
He flopped. Luka flopped.
Sorry.
Just look at this tech by the ref. He got his hand on the back of his head.
That's what we were talking about earlier. I mean, at a minimum, it's a double tech. Like there's only one bad guy there, and it's the guy that was suffering through Vanderbilt's bullshit.
Did he hit Naz Reid in the face? In the eye? On the back of his head, and they called a tech on Julius Randle. Disgusting. Not even 15 seconds into the game, Rudy Gobert got his first foul.
What in the hell was
that? He
that?
had 3 fouls in 13 minutes. pretty much unplayable in that first half. But Nas Reed put on for the Dreadheads. LaBalco was no match for my dog Nas Reed. Your king couldn't even blow by Rudy Gobert. Yup, set the screen. I'm open. Here you go. Loading up. Yeah.
That's bad coaching. Sorry, you do not create plays for that guy.
I really don't know how he fooled y'all into.
Look at the disrespect. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. Look at the
like
casual,
the hell with him.
Look at the casual walk up.
Thinking the hell with him. They like, oh, you like to do block by James, huh? Well, here go block by Reed. Rudy Gobert said, oh, my.
Never saw a replay of that.
Dark skin.
Oh, yeah, of course
not.
not.
I have some of that too. Didn't I tell you?
Never saw a replay of that.
That size and length would bother him. Randall held his own. Luka almost turns it over. LaFody doesn't know what to do with it. But break.
He looks lost and confused, like a legit senior citizen, lost and confused, spinning around and getting himself dizzy.
You know what your cousin said yesterday? Why should he have a go-to move? Who asks a question like that? Why would you not have a go-to move? And this is exactly why. He shot that off the wrong side of the backboard.
James is such a
He got 40,000 points. He doesn't need a go-to move.
Oh, 50K. They saying 50K now. No, get it correct.
Oh, yeah. That's right. He got 50,000. He doesn't need a go-to move.
LeBron James.
That one. Look at the disrespect. I mean, fans, you should either be mad at the Timberwolves or mad at your king that nobody gives a shit about him shooting.
It's such a philanthropist. Can I say one thing real quick?
Philanthropist.
First off, they be like, oh my God, look what he's doing at 40. Then they say, oh, he's 40. He needs rest. They just had 8, 9, 10 days off. LeBron didn't play in the last game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot blame. How much rest do they need?
He shouldn't need any nights off, considering that he rests on defense. Look at this fucking shot again.
Hey, no, AOH. If you think about it, go back in history. What's always been the strategy? If you like when Paul Pierce was talking to Skip, and he was like, it's no disrespect to LeBron, but it's like we want you to shoot. We feel like every time we force you to be a jump shooter, that's a win for us because he's going to do the bulk of his damage at the rim, right? So what did Pop do? Pop said, hey, LeBron, I dare you to shoot. It's like, we know you're a great player, but we know where you want to do the bulk of your damage. So, no, we know that your weakness is jump shooting. So we'll let you shoot wide open because what's going to happen? If he hits one, he's going to take another one. He's going to take another one. Now you're going to get your team out of rhythm. See, they don't understand that's the game within the game. We would rather you shoot the ball. We love when you shoot the ball.
Zay, your cousin said something about that yesterday. It was like, oh, why if LeBron sucks, why did the Spurs have to try and shut him down? Like, I don't know if your cousin has watched any of that 2007 finals because LeBron looks terrible. But if the only thing you have to do is clog the lane and he has nothing left, how do you continue to defend that guy?
Yeah, it's like watching his failures to his fanboys is like watching a horror movie. It's like watching Freddy Krueger. It's like watching Jason. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to see their king get killed. That's all it is.
Do you think nobody's called him a philanthropist because he can't say that word himself? That's a real question. I'm dead serious. Because they talk about how he gives and gives and gives. I've never heard anybody call him a philanthropist. Not once. Because he can't say it. I'll bet you we think that's why.
He like, I like the way you say it. Yeah, say that. Across the world.
Jesus, look at these bricks.
But here go the one right here, man. Where I'm looking at the ref like, I said, first of all, I know these so-called players wouldn't tell you this. LaFody wanted to score 20. Didn't he? 3 minutes left, down 23. He's still in the game.
This is a sick Negro.
They called this a turnover instead of a shot, but that looked like a shot to me.
What's that?
Mr. I make the right play, James. James. Right play, James. I make the right play, James.
I'm taking that.
I make the right play, James.
Did you see how wide open the lane was? Of course, Austin Reeves was about to cut.
Right, and Rui was wide open in the other corner.
Oh,
That's
Pass to
the
assist.
funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Your cousin asked for examples of LeBron not having a high IQ when we asked him to provide examples of him having a high IQ. And I'm like, where do you want me to begin? Do you watch any of my videos? Every night I'm like laughing at how dumb his decisions are. Oh, by the way, what was your cousin's example? I heard someone talk about being impressed by LeBron remembering what the other team did. Like, you couldn't even provide your own example. You heard Lou Williams or some fucking dipshit come on TV sucking LeBron off saying, you know, I remember this one time that LeBron James recalled the game that he just played in.
Give him the Nobel Peace Prize.
I went off on it.
Then why the hell, if he knows all this, why the fuck hasn't he won all these championships?
AOH, it's that bird box effect. I'm telling you, they watch your videos, but they watch it with the blindfold on.
I don't know, man. I do you really think that it would have to be painful? Do you really think that? I don't know if your blinders can hide what I show.
Well, that's when they shift it. That's when they just shift to, well, Jordan did this and Jordan did that.
Right.
But it's when you hit him with, yeah, but you're not defending anything I'm saying. You're not correcting anything I'm saying. So therefore, the burden of proof is still, it's kind of on you. But then you say burden of proof, and they're like, don't tell me words I don't know, and don't speak to me that way. And then they get upset.
I'm a hater, or I don't like him because he's black, and you guys are hating on a fellow black man. And
yeah. I mean, that's true.
Wait. AOH, hold on. You telling me the same coach that LeBron got fired? Isn't he black? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, they brought that up in sports. They brought that up in sports news one of her lives when somebody said he uplifts. Not to digress. He said that he uplifts black people, and they said, give an example. It was Rich Paul, and that's it. And it's like, well, that's Rich Paul. They name anybody else, and they can't. So it's all about just what's pushed out there. My bad.
Yeah.
He snatched that ball from that old man over there.
Wow.
From that old man over there.
Mike Conley. He was hunting Mike Conley.
Isn't he nearing LeBron's age?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked like a flash, like a young whippersnapper, the way he took that from LeBron.
We're fanboys.
Zay, you better hang on to this video.
Are you ready? DX, baby.
Let's go. And did you have to welcome Rui to America, man? Oh my God. And you got Rui looking like, meanwhile, this nigga putting his hands on me. My God, Uncle Luka started the game off crazy. 16 points in the first quarter, pissing me off. He had more points than the Timberwolves at one point. The Timberwolves had 12. Luka.
Can we discuss the concept of athleticism for a little bit? Because I think I heard people just like shitting on Luka, and he's not a good teammate because he's not athletic. But if you're not athletic and doing to other players what Luka is doing, what do you call it? I mean, how do you how do you get away with that?
No, Luka is highly skilled. Like, and he does have athleticism. He's just not as athletic as like you would say some of those guys. But it's like clearly he's the most skilled player in the team, which is why he's the best player on the team. So to me, athleticism is more so in track and field. I mean, there's an element, but in the NBA, it's the skill is the 90%. Athleticism is like 10%.
Zay, your cousin, his argument to that, because we talked about athleticism, because I said Luka wasn't, and your cousin said, well, can he dunk? And I said, what? What does that mean? And then it just kind of fell into, well, you're athletic if you can dunk. Yeah, but if you're 6'4" or taller, I feel like it should be somewhat automatic.
First of all, Luka does dunk.
Right.
Yeah,
oh no, that was the point. Because he dunks, then he should be considered athletic. That's what Zay's cousin was trying to get across.
I mean, I partially agree with Hoops God. It is skills, but you're in the NBA. You have to have athleticism to go along with those skills. I think if skills alone would do it, we'd see a lot of other different people in there. Luka's height and weight has a lot to do with him being able to use those skills.
Yeah, and he reminded me of like Paul Pierce, man. Paul Pierce wasn't super fast or had a lot of athleticism. He was slow.
And you couldn't stop him.
But
young Ben Roethlisberger. It's young Big Ben.
Oh shit! Speaking of slow, did the Warriors get rid of slow-mo? He's just not playing anymore. Anyway, sorry, that's digressing. That's what you call digressing. Here we go.
Luka had 14. I thought he was working.
That looked athletic. Of course, that's me, but
in that Burger King, the way he was having it his way. I got a question for the fanboys. What are you gonna do about the paint? This situation in the paint is very alarming.
Traveling or just me being old and confused?
Can you rewind it real quick?
Yeah, rewind it. Paint is very. A question for the fanboys. What are you gonna do about the paint? This situation in the paint is very alarming.
It's all those stop and starts before the 3 steps. Like he stopped dribbling twice before he began the actual layup, which is also a violation of the rules, or at least it used to be.
Now, you know, in the modern era, they care more about scoring. The Lakers said, all right, we're going to trade rim protection, rebounding for scoring. And look at the results of that. I know you guys are talking about the magical stretch you went on, beating up on.
That was really well contested.
It was. Under 500 teams and teams without their superstars, players getting injured during the game. And
so was that. Damn.
Somehow you were ranked the #1 defense in the NBA by fouling and hacking. That's literally all they literally got they got to beat up on the Knicks. They beat the hell out of the Knicks, man.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They beat the hell out of the Warriors, man. Like, it was just.
They've always gotten away with beating the hell out of the Warriors.
Yeah.
My boy Looney.
Explain it. I can't explain it either. But that got exposed tonight. Oh, yes, it did. Yes, Lord. If you remember in my Anthony Edwards video, I told you there will be a lot of open shots tonight for the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves executed on these open shots. The Timberwolves shot 50% from the 3-point line, 21 out of 42 threes. That is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Look at AE going crazy. Luka and LaFody James combined for 4 assists tonight, but they also combined for 9 turnovers.
Hey, I got to run, gentlemen. I'll catch y'all next week.
Oh, yeah,
hey, good to have you again.
For sure, Hoop God. We'll see you again.
Let's take a break and check the chats.
Hey, Hoop God, hit me on the email, man.
I'll introduce you guys. Remind me. I mean, you have him. He was included in the group email.
Okay, he up in there. Okay, but I'm gonna check.
It's Dywin.
Okay, but
I already read. LeBron acts like they haven't played Minnesota 4 times, but that's a good point. The Barbie's battery. Read that one. Mr. Local. What the fuck? Why am I still struggling with that?
Loco.
We got to send a wellness check for Lacuzzo. Also, can we talk about how the media is already trying to cover up for him? Lastly, what is this year's excuse? Well, amazingly, Luka's going to get the blame. The bench is getting the blame. I mean, if you listen to the post game, Luka and the bench were getting the blame. Prick Flair. Prick Flair. Super chat. Hey, read the second one from Ric Flair.
Ric Flair said his fanboys get real quiet when you bring up the 2011 finals. He got outplayed by Jason Terry. Case closed. Case closed.
LeBron James, if they'd put anyone on the floor but LeBron James, Miami wins. On this day in 1986, GOAT dropped 63. Oh, really? On this day? Wow. There's a little history for you. Thank you, Lomo. I hope I'm saying that right. Oh, Phenomenal Fitness. How are you, Morion? The Lakers are not making out of the first round. I can hear his fanboys now. He's 40 years old. What do you expect? Yeah. Do you guys just not understand that you can't give him MVP consideration and then turn around and say, oh, how can you expect him to play well when he's 40? Well, then I don't expect you to put him in the MVP conversation either.
But that's how that works. You know that.
It's the same folks who use it as a plus if he won. You're completely right. Phenomenal. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support. Hit me up if you want to pop on again someday. I know you're a new dad. I left you alone after I interrupted your sleep patterns. Back to the
video. Crap. This was one of the best games I ever seen by Jaden McDaniels. 25 points, 11 of 13 from the floor, 3 of 3 from the three-point line, 9 rebounds.
Hey, how tough of a shot was that by Reeves, by the way?
Can we see how he got there? Got to that spot? Because I've seen him carry and travel a lot.
Oh, well, who doesn't? Did LeBron throw that, by the way? Because even if it was 7 dribbles later, he got an assist on this.
Got the assist.
Floor, 3 of 3 from the three.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they are all stopping.
9 rebounds. He was out there balling. There was no answer for Jaden Daniels. The lights tonight were too bright for Austin.
Why does LeBron get to shove people on every play? He shoves people away from him. He even did it on this one, and it's not one of the more blatant ones. But watch him.
There was no answer for Jaden Daniels.
Lower
the
back
lights tonight were too bright for Austin Reeves. There was no Kobe of the Ozarks. The Lakers are better when Austin Reeves scores over 20 points.
Bingo. Bingo. Bingo.
They're like 27-9 when he scores 20 points.
Repeat that. Yeah,
he's like 27-9 when Austin Reeves scores 20 or more points.
And who took Austin Reeves' spot as the number 1 scorer in this game?
Luka.
LeBron James. And what happened?
But they wasn't ready for the Timberwolves. They thought the Timberwolves.
Man, can we see this from Jaden McDaniels again?
Yep.
I hope so.
It was really going to be a cakewalk. The Timberwolves are 17-4 over the last 21 games, man. They battled hard to get out of that.
That was a foul, huh?
Playing. I got another fun fact on smaller defenders. He can't score on defenders his size easily.
You see him throw an elbow on that, by the way?
For your fanboys, the Minnesota Timberwolves are one of the 4 teams in the playoffs. They showed that 100 times last night.
I was gonna say that was probably number 1 on every list.
And now it's been 101. What are you doing, including this shit?
10 in offense and defense. You know who the other 3 teams are?
Did you see LeBron reaching there? The player was already gone, man.
OKC, Boston, and Cleveland. And we already know they ain't beat any of those teams. Fanboys, I know when y'all see that.
Worst body language of an athlete ever, let alone somebody that's supposed to be a leader.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about Rui being downtrodden. Everyone should be downtrodden. Like LeBron just shows you that he's disgusted all game long.
Locked by James. I know you got flashbacks, huh? That brought you back, didn't it? But I must tell you, that was a long time ago. Look at Ant-Man swinging it to Randall. He's swinging it to Reed, and you know it's green. I know this next play about to make you sad because I know you like, man, he ain't got it. He could barely.
Yo, my kids do that. Come on.
Could the guy concentrate on landing once? There's no need for him to land like that. Stop it.
How do you?
His old ass can't even get up there no more, man. But look at DiVincenzo. Oh, my boy.
Ouch.
My boy. Yeah, let it hang on him. Yeah. Right to the locker room. Yeah. The Lakers were outscored 38-20 in the second quarter. And then in the third quarter, the Timberwolves came out on a 14-0 run. Jaden McDaniels. Fanboys, I would love to hear some of your excuses. Oh, it's a game where LeBron.
I just realized I better pause this more often, or we're gonna get flagged. Look at LeBron. He's convincing us about how much effort he was putting on defense with that stance. He doesn't move.
That's crazy.
He's doing the Jordan logo.
That is difficult to look at. It is. It's so awkward. I have terrible posture, and I'm saying that's awkward to look at.
Bro never does good in game ones, bro. He's just feeling.
There was that bad language again. Every time the ball goes in, do something about it then. Instead of standing under the rim lazily or getting into your squat position to convince everyone that you're trying hard.
Have you ever seen the Lakers look happy ever? Like as
yes,
group?
when LeBron doesn't play, I saw a lot of smiles and I saw team chemistry.
He's too old. He can't affect the game no more, man. This is Luka's time. Luka, they need to build a team around Luka. This team, as constructed, is built around LaFody James. They have to build a team around Luka. You got to get bigger. You got to get size.
One. He hit one. And they showed that nonstop. You would think this is the problem with not watching the games. They do influence you. If you're taking the highlight reels, they will fool you into thinking that LeBron James had a good game.
He shot 8 for 18 in this game. 8 for 18.
Shit, I just fucked up.
Boys, the Lakers gave up nearly 100 points in 3 quarters. Come on, man. To the Timberwolves.
I just noticed something.
Not enough scoring.
Something that doesn't get talked about. DiVincenzo. Guys like that have that like grit. And Anthony Edwards, when he's in, and he's in the right mindset, that grit. LeBron doesn't play well against that. He doesn't play well against players that are like, you're old, I'm not dealing with this. Like the Grizzlies, as much as I can't stand them, they got under his skin and they got in his head because Ja Morant, he's dumb. But he's just smart enough to be threatening to LeBron. And he doesn't, if you stand up to him, like any bully, right? It's that Zach Randolph quote, where I'm from, bullies get bullied. All you have to do is stand up to this man once. And that's all it takes. He'll end up trying to recruit you the very next season.
We talked about this on Friday. I was like, can someone just put a body on LeBron instead of letting him have the lane wide open because he doesn't like it and it'll work. It'll pay off big dividends. In fact, I know they called the foul on Julius Randle, the offensive foul after LeBron fouled the shit out of Randle like 3 times right before that. But it's still worth it. As long as it doesn't get him kicked out of the game. LeBron doesn't like being bullied. Only LeBron gets to bully. So Julius, knock that motherfucker down and you've got the series. Or LeBron will take an injury and wait not to play. So go ahead.
What happened to the 6 fouls guys? You remember back in the day, there was a guy in your team, you put him in, you get five quick fouls, get him out, put him back in the fourth quarter. There are no guys like that. Put him down. It's worth it. At least he'll stop going to the paint and rely on a jumper that he doesn't have. Like no team has even thought about that as a game plan, which, makes you feed even further into the idea that it's a conspiracy. Put him down. That's all you have to do. He's not going to get up.
Guys, shout out to Zay who cranked this out already. Go to Zay's channel. Give him some love. Maybe you're there right now. Maybe you're watching it there right now. And here is Speam's Cash App.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sure, keep that up there, please.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
And
you should probably remove some words so they can see your whole Cash App because it's not like showing. It says on the come up dash.
Oh, that's just, I just said that for my. I'll change it right now.
They don't overlay it. That's right. Here we go. There it is.
Thank you, sir.
And Zay, since we're watching your video, why don't you read these super chats? And we're starting with Roger Hurt.
Shout out to Roger Hurt, man. LeBron, Wolves, why y'all playing so hard? I mean, at the ELD, it's just basketball. LaMedia, 40-year-old LeBron nearly pulled off a miracle championship run, but was narrowly defeated 4-1 in the first round.
Oh, man. Well played.
Gentlemen, what did Windhorst say? That was the closest sweep I've ever seen, or something like that. You should get fired saying something like that.
No, did he really say that?
He did. I feel like it was the Denver series. It was either, I think maybe the gentleman sweep. He said something like, "This was the closest sweep or the closest gentleman sweep I've ever seen." Or most competitive.
Well, you know what? To a degree, I agree, because a lot of people wanted to make it sound like Denver just was manhandling them. No, they weren't. LeBron James was the reason that the Lakers lost. LeBron James having the ball in his hands at the ends of those games is the reason that the Lakers lost. Darvin Ham would have a better playoff record right now if LeBron James had not had the ball in his hands. I'm not saying they would have won the series, but there'd be more wins.
Poor Darvin Ham.
Oh, I'm sure he was ready to be out of that fucking toxic shit. I mean, the Lakers and Milwaukee are paying him.
I ain't gonna lie, man. To be rich in LA, it's gotta be fun.
That organization owes him an apology. Period.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
No.
Member for 5 months, Rolf Copter. LeBron is not a philanthropist. He single-handedly gave out silverware to Europeans. Argentina and senior citizens in 2011.
He gave out Vector knives.
Yo, everybody in my life has worked for Vector and sold knives at some point before college.
Also gave bums like Dylan Brooks a career. Oh boy! Hey, don't forget the 2014 Spurs, with the exception of Kawhi, were also ancient.
How old was Manu?
Huh?
How old was Manu Ginobili?
Like,
wasn't 36? He close to 40?
Huh?
Wasn't he pretty close to 40? I thought.
Like Parker, Duncan, and Ginobili were all in their late 30s, maybe. Yeah. Speed Engine.
Credit.
This is from Thanos. Snap feminism. LeBron was in his horse stance. Yeah, really. He looked like he was a saddleback. Ninth degree black belt in flopping.
Oh my God.
He's the originator. You know, no one's gonna talk about Vlade or Manu or anybody years from now. It's gonna be LeBron, and that's it. He's gonna be considered the ancient one, for lack of a better term.
Oh, so I'm being fact checked or fact helped, however you want to look at it. Duncan was 38, Manu 37. Okay, so far I'm correct. And then Parker was 31, injured. See, that's interesting. Right, because Parker beat LeBron when he was a child then in 2007.
They got swept in that series?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's because LeBron didn't have any help, in case you didn't hear from Cuz.
He's never had help. He's never had generational all-time top 5 players ever. Except for
we showed him the Booby. We showed him the Booby Gibson 31-point game. He's like, "Oh, that's what's up."
What?
He didn't want to acknowledge that game.
Booby Gibson. Listen, I get it. He's played with some minimal players, as he calls them, but when you balance that against the great players that he's played with, there's just no conversation for him not having help. When you have a player like Steph Curry who ate 4 times with KD, sure, but he never left his team. He never, for what we know, he never did anything shady. He's got 4 chips in your so-called era. How can you be considered the GOAT of anything?
All I know is in that 2007 breakdown, LeBron James, who, depending on the day of the week and the argument that the fanboys provide, is an incredible scorer. When he's not an incredible scorer, he's a facilitator. Well, LeBron James only made 4 buckets, only had 4 assists, and had 4 turnovers. Like, his turnovers were the equivalent of both of the 2 positive categories, and those positive categories were terrible. And it only got worse after that. Like, his turnovers, he was the worst fucking person on the floor.
Calling a positive category terrible. It just tells you everything. Like, when you're good is bad, that tells you everything you need to know.
Zay, did we get the gist of the video, or should we finish that out?
No, I mean, we got the gist of it. You can ask the chat. If the chat want to finish it, let's do it. But, let's ask the chat. Y'all want to finish this belt to ass, or should we let it ride? Let us know.
Oh, man. I'm sort of anxious to get to my own editing today. There was so much manhandling by the Lakers. And then LeBron has the nerve to get up there in the post game and talk about, and he basically subtly said that they were playing dirty. It's like, that's just the way they play. That's just the way they play.
I caught that part.
Yeah.
We finally have a playoff game under us to figure out how they play. I remember that.
Right. Yeah. And as someone else in the chat said, this is the first time you've had a chance to see the Timberwolves. I don't think so. But I don't think that the Timberwolves were any more physical than the Lakers were. Like, I didn't see the shoving in the back. I didn't see the Timberwolves shoving people in the back.
I didn't see anything.
Anyway, well, I'm actually gonna dedicate today to breaking that game down. Let's finish. Zay made it. Let's finish it.
Right? Come on, they look fine to me. They got whatever they wanted tonight. JJ Genius, young Pat Riley waved the white flag tonight. When I say he waved the white flag, that means he put Bronny in the damn game.
That shot pissed me off.
He put Bronny in, and I'm like, damn, Bronny came in shooting bricks. He like, man, I gotta get mine. It's the playoffs. Bronny, you need to sit down, my brother. Just get in the game. Run the timeout, man. You know you ain't scoring in the play. If Bronny score in the playoffs, I'm done with the NBA, man.
He tried.
I'm done with it. I ain't gonna lie to you. But to everybody that's watching, can I ask y'all a question? Don't it just feel good, like some type of energy come upon you when LaFody Games get his ass beat?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The universe trying to ride itself. So Bronny went 0 for 2 and had absolutely nothing else. It's zeros across the stat line. Although he had that 0 for 2 was good enough to give him a +1 in the plus minus.
He did better than Kyle Kuzma.
Well, he was 21 points better than his dad.
It makes me sound like an old hater, but 10 years from now, you're going to look back and say LeBron James got his son into the league with playoff minutes. And it's absurd when you say it out loud with the facts that have been presented.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sad. They didn't play Dalton Connect until garbage time either. That's what's crazy.
And then he hit.
He's gone.
My goodness, I was just smiling. Girl, like, boy, what's wrong with you?
Hey, Warriors will take Dalton Connect. He'll be one of their bigger guys.
Ooh, I like, man, the Lakers got their ass beat.
That is a fucking technical in the rule book, period. It's doing it right now. He's still pointing at him. Who else? Look at the sheepish ref. Oh, go ahead, break the rules, threaten me, derogatorily point at me. It's supposed to be an automatic tee.
It looks like a wrestling promo or something, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like a shot from a movie? It looks like he's threatening him.
And I did see in the replay that he did get hit during it but the ball was already going through the rim. It was just the dumbest defensive thing ever. Like everybody gets out of the way. Look at this. Look at this lane.
What's wrong with you? I'm like, man.
Whoa.
The groin looked fine to me.
Oh yeah. I can't.
Try for greatness.
The groin looked fine when he flopped and when he got on his knees begging the ref. That was an amazing still frame, by the way.
Oh yeah. Joy to the world. The Lord has come.
Who's he playing?
Hey.
You know, they're gonna shit on Rui for that, but that was a tough shot.
Beautiful, man. Look at this. This the
Got a
last
7-foot wingspan.
Yeah. And Vanderbilt's got a 7-foot wingspan, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
You know, after the game, they started talking about the Lakers being too small again, and talking about the Timberwolves and all their size, and they were talking about guys on the Timberwolves who were 6'8" and 6'9". I'm like, you're talking about the smallest people on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like 6'8", 6'9" is like the minimum to be on that team. Luka's one of the shortest dudes at 6'7".
I think where the Timberwolves messed up too yesterday when they got behind is that they started Mike Conley. You can't. I don't want to start Mike Conley, man. Just being honest.
He's smart with the ball, though. I mean, like he's smart with the ball in terms of dictating offense. I just know he's a defensive.
But they were mismatch hunting for him, but you know they were going to a zone when they did that. So I mean, the Lakers gonna try to adjust and try to isolate Mike Conley again. They're gonna be trying to run actions to isolate Mike Conley next game. I'm telling you. Nas Reed, turn their TV off, man. Turn it off.
Ouch.
And this the part of the video where I
it's
need y'all to
done
beat
now.
them.
So.
Okay. Hey, and I just look, I'm not trying to make excuses for Luka, but he actually looked like he was trying. Like he might be getting outplayed because he's not fast enough, but he actually looked like he was trying to contest some of those shots that were shot in his face.
He was trying.
Doesn't Luka look pissed the entire game now? It used to just be that he would get all crabby like the second half, but now he just looks angry like the entire time. And I can't tell if it's like to push this whole, Luka's mad at the world narrative, or he's actually mad because he's on this sinking ship of a franchise.
Well, it's empowerment. Like if that was his personality type, and now he's under the protection of LeBron and Clutch and the Lakers, he can get away with complaining even more. Because I kind of agree with you. It's gone from like 50% of the time to 80% of the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to take callers, or are you ready to get on with your Sunday?
Hey, I mean, I would love to take callers. I just like making, everybody who support us happy. I know they be wanting to chime in and come in here and say something to us. So
good for you,
it's
Zay.
up to you guys, but I'm good. I want to.
I was gonna say, yeah, Zay and I did this for what, like daggone 6 hours yesterday.
Oh yeah, we was on for a long time. Man, I did 6 hours on Friday or Saturday.
That's crazy. That's
So,
crazy.
yeah.
All right, here we go. I had to look at my notes. I had a whole bunch of shit that we didn't even get to today. Hey, super chatting, everybody with the support, all the members, everybody sticking with my channel during the hard times, and everybody that gives to our government program panelist in the middle there.
Take my big face, fix this, please. You can't just have me eating candy because you know what I've been doing for the last 20 minutes. Take this.
What do you want me to put up there? Zay ain't got no picture.
Yeah, we got to fix that. Thank you. Oh, shout out to King's Speech if I didn't do it earlier. He was on yesterday for a while too, and he was bringing a lot of historical information to help
I saw him.
Argument.
I was in there for a little bit while King's Speech was holding it down.
Yeah.
No, I was also, that must have taken a lot out of him.
I was also holding it down. Let's just be clear. So I want to correct you so you're getting the right information.
And Fred B. Jams is going to come on. Fred B. Jams. Oh shit, that's a Laker hat. Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
Great.
Uh-oh.
Hey, how's it going? Y'all hear me pretty good?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, now don't worry. I'm not a LaGlazer. Nah. I'm actually pissed. These past 6-7 years, it's hard to even put on a Laker cap. I want to throw them in the trash, you know.
Hey, do you still go? Hey, have you ever gone to Laker games? I know it's expensive.
When they come to New Orleans, because I'm actually from I'm in Louisiana.
Oh,
you know.
Okay. Shout out Louisiana.
Yeah, appreciate it. But
New Orleans, love it.
I want to say this, man. Angry Hoops. If you ever would have another channel talking about life situation, I would definitely listen.
Okay. What, you want to hear me bitch about my life?
Watch things. I'll be like, how dumb are in this world? You can sit up here and listen to Rich Paul and all these people, but if you really listen to them, they say they're the most dumbest stuff. I mean, so you sit up here and say they want to say Jordan and Pippen and Rodman was a super team, but then if they are a super team,
I think you're cutting out.
This how you treat your fans, AOH? You mute them?
No, he's not muted.
And these people even allow these people to disrespect them, say we need to be taught how to taught. How the hell are you gonna? I mean, come on, man. And these people, they take these scripts and they run with it. But I'm gonna let y'all go. But I'm gonna say this. There's one last thing. Lil Barbie, Playboy Cardi, Steve Harvey, Bob Marley, Dan Marley. Lakers gone in 5.
Hey,
man, right there. That is a good man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's so dead on. That whole taught to love this game and taught to appreciate it. Again, that's dictator conversation. So or political conversation. If you're like, all right, so you don't get it, I'm gonna make you get it. Like, how does that sound? That's what you want your legacy to be? Like, there isn't one person in his ear that says, you know, you're good for now, you're cool for now, but this could crumble. This could and will crumble in under 10 years when the league and Nike no longer find you profitable because your sneakers aren't selling. So once your career is over, your movies are terrible, your sneakers aren't selling. I don't really know people that take part in franchises that he's involved in. Once he's not profitable, like I said, a lot of this stuff is going to come out. It just has to.
Why would we need to be taught now? You know, what is it about right now that suddenly people need to be taught? You know, we learn from watching. The information is there. So when these people say we have to teach these people, you mean you need to come on here and manipulate the situation with words that don't actually mean anything in order for them to believe that your version of reality is the correct version of reality. In the past, reality handled it. Reality was all that we needed. Now, Rich Paul and LeBron James are overtiming. They're doing it during the season. They're doing it during, you know, playoff runs, coming out and telling people, hey, here's what you're actually seeing.
Yep.
Just a message that says, we're going to hear it's just basketball very soon. Very fun. And Mrs. Hanny says, if the T-Wolves go up 2-0, you might want to consider putting in a call to housekeeping. Yeah, I think they're going to give the Lakers at least one win at home, but it's hard to say. Oh, there's sorry, Jay, I cut you off, and then we'll let King Speech in.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay.
Wait. Let me say one thing, man.
Okay, 1 second, King Speech.
The Thunder are putting belt to ass on the Grizzlies right now. 66-36 at half. My God.
I didn't expect anything good from the Grizzlies at all.
But I'll bet you John Morant has a cool new celebration.
Celebrating a 30-point ass whooping.
Calling them Predator missiles now.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? Happy holiday. Hope everybody doing well.
Hello, sir.
How are you holding up after your marathon debate?
King Speech,
man, I was holding up good. Yeah, tell your cuz, man, it wasn't personal. I had to, I just saw the lies. I had to come with it, man. King Speech speaks the truth.
Zay, did you ever go through anything like what your cousin went through before your conversion? I know you were ready to fight people and all that, but did you ever get on like a debate show or anything like that?
No. You know, this was, you know, you wasn't on YouTube then, you know, like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But
you know, this is the thing. We bring what we do in the barbershops and the you know, at the lunch table, at work, whatever, in the break room. We just bring it to YouTube, man, and that's good content.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep. I used to, you know, be like, man, these dudes are crazy. Talk about LeBron. They're psycho. They're psychopaths. You know.
Do you have a specific memory? Is there one lie that you bought into that you look back on and think, damn, that one really doesn't make sense?
Let me see. In the Book of Lies.
I know it's a big book.
Going into the book.
Only book you read.
That was a deep question. I'll let you think on that one.
That he
what
was.
What else up, King's Speech? What
you know, I'm going back to the part, right? We speaking of, you know, I remember back when I used to work and back in, you know, 08, 09, right? And I was like, I had a big Kobe fan. I wasn't a Kobe fan, right? It was a big Kobe fan at my job. Like, and he's a Laker fan, sometime Laker fan. I couldn't wait for LeBron to take the crown from Kobe, but I couldn't give it to him until he won a championship. This is back when I used to like LeBron.
Right.
Then when LeBron came to Miami, he revealed himself. He revealed what a shortcut taker, you know, all that. And then I see Kobe doing it the right way. See, so I was hating on Kobe all them years. I'm like, bro, he's the last real one. Because LeBron, you know, like I told you, because I don't even criticize him for going to Miami. Anybody that does what they want for free agency, you have the right. But it's the fact that, number one, as you've seen in the debate, they down Wade, they down every teammate LeBron actually played with. I mean, Antoine Jameson all of a sudden is a bum, even though he was putting 32 on the same Cavs a couple of years earlier. And then it's like, yeah, you know, already we at that point, because I saw that other channel, you know, they had the little map where, okay, yeah, this is step forward that the Lakers are in the first round. They're going to be in the first round. Okay, they're going to be and then when they win the championship, but Jordan got 6. Well, what's going to happen? Are y'all going to scrub all them posts from the internet when they get beat by the Wolves? Because I stand on business. I said the Wolves were 18-4 since March. The Lakers have lost 10 games since March, right? This is the same team they think is going to wipe this OKC team that's beating the hell out of the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies lost 14 games all year, and 2 of them was at the end once they realized they couldn't win 70 games. You know? So, I mean, like, keep the same energy. And that's the thing. LeBron, he said, I'm going to win 8, and then it's been every excuse of why they can't win 8 or why they didn't win or we didn't have role players. Oh, well, Wade wasn't vintage Wade and all types of nonsense. It's just like, did they not? Okay, did your cousin realize that Jordan had to drag with a broken down Scotty in '98? Then he had to drag the Bulls with Scotty all broken down. But meanwhile, Wade wasn't vintage Wade, so they got to get their doors rung by the old Spurs.
Hey, I got a video coming out proving that Jordan didn't win anything until Scott Williams joined the team. It wasn't Scotty.
That makes sense.
That's the other thing, fanboys. Can we kill the 1-9 narrative? Because the Scottie Pippen that joined in '88 didn't even make the all-rookie team.
Right.
And this was a rookie class that didn't have David Robinson because he had to serve 2 more years in the Navy. So, I mean, this wasn't a great rookie class. The rookie of the year was Mark Jackson, the 23rd, was the 18th pick. You know, he wasn't an all rookie, but yet you're gonna act like he showed up and helped Jordan win playoff series. That didn't happen.
King's Speech. It's interesting how similar our histories are because I cheered against Kobe, and I still to this day. Realistically, I think that the league helped those Lakers. But the bottom line is now looking at LeBron, whatever problems there were with Kobe, I still would much rather have a Kobe. Like those were much better days.
I became a Kobe fan in 2013 when I saw him leaving the game in crutches.
Yeah.
Right? He would literally be in and then he's out there guarding the best guy because Steve Nash couldn't go. Oh God, Steve Nash. Oh. Was it Uncommon? Oh my God. Uncommon got me wanting to watch that mind the game stuff. Steve Nash is sitting there glazing LeBron ridiculously. And Steve Nash, you're the reason why Kobe tore his Achilles playing defense for you. Because you couldn't guard point guards and Kobe had to, so that's when I said, listen, this Kobe, I always thought Kobe was arrogant, but I knew he was great. Like, see, one thing, I might not like you personally, I might not like a player, but I will never deny how great they are. LeBron is still good, and I've been saying he's been washed for LeBron. As you guys show in your breakdowns, he is a statue on defense. When you stand around on defense, you're able to. We've seen this. LeBron will literally stand there. The Lakers will get a turnover. All of a sudden, LeBron is Flash Gordon because he puts every bit of his legs into getting stats. So if he's not good, if he can't get a block, he will not do that closeout. If he can't see a steal coming, he stands as a statue, letting everybody else play the defense around him. And that's how he's getting these numbers at disadvantage. He's not playing both sides of the ball, honestly. Because if he did that, maybe the Lakers would be a better team, and he would average 21, 19, or something like that, like a Kareem did, because Kareem didn't, as he got old, he played more of his position at center. You didn't have to worry about him getting 19, 17, 18 points, but he held down the 40 center while Magic and Worthy and Scott and them did the offensive low. So when they come back and they say what this guy did, see, Jordan didn't cheat the game at 40. He played both sides of the ball, and that's why the numbers aren't what they are. LeBron's, it's crazy. And he's even doing, the crazy part is you see him doing it in the playoffs. You see him doing, he's not
Yeah,
he put no effort in the playoff. And that was a nice block, but that's what I'm saying. He will jump for a block. He will not jump just to help, for a closeout to help a guy miss. That's not going to show up in the stat sheet, the regular stat sheet.
Like for every one of those blocks, which by the way, someone else was the primary defender, opening it up for LeBron. You have 9 to 10 in which LeBron didn't even get his hand up in a contest. Like he's failing most of the game and then getting a highlight for himself, just like you pointed out. And as far as Steve Nash goes, I don't know if there are words to express how disappointed most of us are.
Because Steve Nash has a high IQ, and he should know. Does he need the relevancy and the clout that much to sit there and do it? We already see McAfee do it, but at least McAfee doesn't know anything about basketball.
Maybe that's part of why it's so disappointing, because Steve Nash doesn't even have an opportunity to use any wit or any humor if you're just sitting there glazing. Like
Steve Nash, he's a Nike guy.
It's not an interesting conversation. Like LeBron says something stupid, and Steve Nash says, "Oh, that's amazing." LeBron says something stupid, and McAfee starts giggling like a supportive cheerleader. It's not engaging sports talk, guys.
Steve Nash being a part of
I brought that up the other day. He talked trash on Stephen A for going on this tour, but LeBron is going on a tour right now with stuff that's being controlled by him. So you almost have to give Stephen A credit because he's almost on his own, while LeBron has like all these shadow agents where he does his shows with his questions on his platform. And that's not talked about enough. He is actively on a tour while playing. And it's almost like basketball is a distraction against what he's really trying to do. But King Speech, real quick, I want to give you credit because you just put something in perspective for me. Jordan at 40 versus LeBron at 40. Everybody always brings that up, right? But just as you stated, Jordan's numbers were as a result of an entire season where he played both sides of the ball 82 games. It's going to be more realistic numbers versus LeBron, where it's like, just like AOH just pointed out, it's tailored to what works for his stats exactly. So I never really thought about it like that. Jordan's is a reflection of a real season versus LeBron's, which is, and I brought this up the other day, the NBA is his system. So
real season,
a fantastic point.
Yeah, real season, and he's playing with he played with Stackhouse and Kwame Brown. And no disrespect to those guys, but they're not Luka. They're not creating. And then on top of that, you played real defense, right? Look at how many points were scored. How many points are scored today? Now put the 20 divided by 98 Okay, LeBron gets 24 divided by 115. You understand what I'm saying? If you're going to look at stats to stat, right? And we all know LeBron cherry picks rebounds, and we all know that they call assists. They actually make assists a lot easier to get this day and age too. The 3-point shots, the wide open lane. There's so much. On top of that, there's another thing people don't realize. You got to bring this. When Jordan came back, he came back without training. Like he didn't go to a training camp because, at the time training camps were about to open, 9/11 happened. So Jordan, not being the narcissist, said, I don't want to make the announcement that I'm coming back, so I'm going to work out privately. The Wizards did their own training camp, and then Jordan joined later on at the end of training camp, and, came back pretty much, got in game shape playing the games. And that's what made him tear his meniscus in that first season. So he was averaging 22. He was a legit all-star. The Wizards were actually on like a 14-3 or 13-4 run. They were on a run where they were a few games above 500, and they were probably going to make the playoffs, and then Jordan got hurt. That's another thing.
King Speech. I'm going to give someone else a chance. Appreciate
you. Yeah, no problem, guys.
Stuff as usual.
Hey, wait. King Speech, before you go, man. Hey, you need to start a channel, and you need to learn how to edit. Use your creativity and learn how to edit, gang. And for real, like
facts. Yeah, I do have a channel. I just do rants like sports rant. Yeah, and I do a weekly podcast. We did talk about, because I wanted to talk. LeBron has like 10 of the top 15 basketball guys in his pocket. So the idea that the media is against him when he has the guys the Chris Bouchards in his pocket is ridiculous. But yeah, man, guys, check me out, and thanks for having me up here, guys.
Appreciate you.
King Speech Row. Mr. Locow is coming on next. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Shanny Brick. James is so washed that his new nickname is Mr. Clean.
Respect.
Nash
did you want to get something out, Zay, before
I want to read that chat. I wanted to read that.
Oh, you want to read that one?
Yeah. Steve Nash's wife will get caught sleeping with LaForty next if he goes to coach the Lakers.
Another
Steve Nash was traumatized by that.
They must be threatening his citizenship or something. It's got to be that.
Local. You know what? Say your name for us.
Local. Yo, you on the live. Local.
All right, try again, but you're gonna have to have a better connection than that.
Cutthroat policy you got there.
Well, it's actually helpful because sometimes sometimes calling back magically solves the technical issues.
That's why my audio works now.
You got that Montana internet, man. What's going on?
Yeah,
if Steve Nash ends up on the Lakers staff next year, I feel like the government should get involved and just investigate this whole thing. I'm so like, how many coincidences do you need to see before you can say just like this is what it is? Like I would have thought having his son in the league would have been the nail in the coffin in terms of his obvious control. And you have Stephen A saying he deserves, LeBron deserves to have his son drafted. And Stephen A is supposed to be considered this basketball analyst of perfection. How can you say that? Like, how can
if we haven't reached the cap already, I don't know if we can reach a cap.
True. It can always get worse.
It definitely can.
Unfortunately, you're right. Hey, gentlemen, I think we'll wrap it. My girlfriend's about to go on a business trip. I gotta say goodbye to her properly and then get to editing. But I appreciate you being here. Good shit, Zay. Good shit, Speem. Check out their channels at Speem Engine, at 93Zay, and support Speem with the Cash App until he can get his channel monetized.
You're so lucky I don't play the race card. I won't.
It's the white man reaching down.
Hey man,
I have to explain these interactions to people, so that's why I'm always like, this AOH isn't racist. I swear. That's like we should open with that. That should be your opener. You should open with that, just like a disclaimer that says I'm not racist, and then just go into your intro.
That's what racist people say.
That's why it's funny.
Should I open up with letting everyone know that I have a cousin who's black?
Yes. I don't understand why you don't. I'll say I'm your cousin. I'm half black. They'll kind of believe it. It's fine. Just do it.
I live in the melting. I live in the legit melting pot of the world, ladies and gentlemen. No one interacts with more ethnicities than me. Well, I don't know. You're in Vegas today. You have everyone coming through there, but they're tourists, not residents.
Yeah, and tourists are the worst. They come to Vegas and just think Vegas is just GTA. You know what I mean? Like you just gotta live here. Especially WrestleMania weekend. It was crazy downtown last night.
That must have been a freak show.
Yeah. I've never seen so many WWE championship belts in my life. Everybody got a championship belt downtown, man. Like, what the fuck?
All right, guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, happy Easter, y'all.
Be safe. Thank you for having me on.